Good afternoon, everybody. It is Steve Lookner with Agenda Free TV. We are here to bring you live coverage. You know, we don't cover every campaign event by Trump and Kamala Harris and formerly Joe Biden, but when there's a particularly noteworthy campaign event, I do like to cover it if I am able to. And today, former President Trump is speaking to the, hang on a second, former President Trump is speaking to the Bitcoin 2024 conference. That is the world's largest Bitcoin conference, which I thought was interesting. So we're going to see his speech live in 25 minutes. We're going to bring you live coverage of Trump speaking to the Bitcoin 2024 conference, the world's largest Bitcoin conference. So we're going to bring you up to date on that, and then we're going to bring you live coverage of that and take your comments on the air. So I appreciate you joining us, and a big thanks to our moderators. We have Bruce Krafasi is moderating in the YouTube chat. Thank you. AJ is moderating in the YouTube chat. Thank you so much, AJ, for moderating. Also, over there on, hold on a second here. Hey guys, I'm just gonna say right now, I don't know what it is about today. A lot of whining in the chat, a lot of complaining in the chat. I don't have patience for it. I don't have the patience for it. I'm gonna time you out. I'm gonna hide you from the chat. So if you don't want to chat on the channel anymore, just keep complaining. Complain about the topic and blah, 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 blah. Grow up. Mature yourself, grow up, act like adults, or if you're not an adult, act like however old you are. But it's a bunch of babies in the chat today. I'm sick of it. It's annoying. Grow up, get mature. I'm going to hide you from the channel. I don't want to hear it anymore. If you don't like it, don't watch. Just don't be a big whining baby and complain in the chat. Jeez, what an immature bunch of babies we got today in the chat. It's really annoying. Sorry, but I mean, come on, guys. Seriously, go to another channel. Don't watch. If you don't like it, don't watch, don't chat, or I'm going to throw you out, okay? Last warning. I don't care if you donate or what. Sick of it. Enough already. It's like talking to third graders. Man. And the other chatters don't want to read it. Do you think it's fun for them to read you acting like a second grader and whining and like a baby? No. The other chatters don't want to read you whining like a baby. They want to talk about this event. So shut up and let the other people who want to talk about the event talk, and shut up and don't watch if you don't like it. All right? Enough of you guys. Seriously. Enough. Gee whiz. My gosh. Man, bunch of babies. Immature babies who act like they're in second grade. This is what, unfortunately, I have to do this once in a while. I have to give you a talking to, a scolding. Because apparently people can't act nice without a scolding. Jeez, had to time out like 6 people myself already. Unbelievable. Anyways, I'm sorry about that. But you know what, guys? If people are going to act like second graders, they're going to need a scolding once in a while. Okay, now can we continue? Can we continue? Gee whiz. Man, ridiculous. Thanks to Surly Dev and Papa Bear and Sarah for modding. I appreciate that. Linda Belk and Larry moderate for us on X. Hey, thanks to Olivia for your support, Amy for your support, and What Say What for your support. So we're going to start in 22 minutes. Trump is speaking. We are going to have live coverage for you. He is speaking to the Bitcoin 2024 conference. Again, we don't cover every campaign event by the candidates, but if it's a particularly interesting campaign event, like Trump speaking to the Bitcoin 2024 conference, well, if I have footage, I'm going to cover it. Hey, thanks, Princess Teapot, for your support. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so let's. Hey, I'm gonna read you a little thing about this. Actually, I'll show you the. I'll show you the page for the conference. Bitcoin 2024 is the name of the conference. Oops. See, it says Bitcoin. Why can't you see that? Oh, I know why you can't see it. Sorry. Bitcoin 2024 is the name of the conference. It should say Trump. Where is it here? If I go today's agenda, where is it here? I got to find it here. But I have it on from Reuters that he's speaking at 3 p.m. Oh, that's Thursday. We're on Saturday. I was on the wrong day of the agenda. It's in Nashville, by the way. It's being held in Nashville. Here, Donald Trump keynote. There it is right there. See that right there? It is, yeah, so that's 21 minutes from now. That's 2 minutes Nashville, 2 p.m. Nashville time. Donald Trump keynote, 30-minute speech, supposedly, on the Nakamoto stage. I actually have a little article for you guys I'm going to read. Going to be doing some experimenting where, you know, I pay for live footage. You know, like this news, like this speech I'm going to show you in 20 minutes. You know, I pay to have the rights to it. So, doing some experimenting here over the coming weeks, possibly with looking at maybe also getting you some text content as well from different news providers. So I'm experimenting a little bit right now. So today, have a little. I have an article from Reuters. I'm allowed to read you. So I'm going to read you the Reuters article. We'll read some of it at least about this about Trump appearing at this press conference at this Bitcoin conference. I'm sorry. So let me show you this. Here, Trump Republicans court crypto votes and dollars at Bitcoin 2024 conference. I mean, this article is literally about the conference. Look, it's about the conference. I gotta experiment. This is the first time we're doing this, and I'm gonna be experimenting with this, and I'll try to make it look better and stuff like that. I wonder if I can increase the font size here. Oh, that's better. I can do it. I can actually increase the font size. But this is a work. It's a work in progress, guys. But for today, we'll look at this article. Hey, look. We got an article. Trump Republicans court crypto votes and dollars at Bitcoin 2024 conference. Thanks to Matt, by the way, for your support, although it looks like Matt broke the rules. Republican nominee and former U.S. President Trump once blasted cryptocurrency, calling it a scam. Now he is headlining one of the industry's biggest conferences. In other articles, one other article I saw described it as the world's biggest Bitcoin conference. Trump formerly blasted cryptocurrency, calling it a scam. He made the comment in 2020, but he will speak today, the last day of the 3-day Bitcoin 2024 convention in Nashville. RFK Jr., I think RFK Jr. already spoke on a previous day. So other people who have been scheduled to speak, I believe RFK Jr. already spoke. But we're also, RFK Jr. was appearing at this conference, Vivek Ramaswamy, Senator Bill Hagerty of Tennessee, and Senator Cynthia Lummis of Wyoming. Among Democrats, U.S. Representative Ro Khanna is also on the roster. Let's see. The crypto industry has quickly rebounded after FTX and a series of other crypto companies collapsed in 2022, sending token prices sliding and forcing multiple companies into bankruptcy. Digital asset proponents, that's supporters, say that cryptocurrency users are becoming a growing political force this election cycle, although it is unclear just how many users would prioritize crypto over other issues at the ballot box. The Republican Party is courting crypto users' votes by promising lighter regulation, potentially tying a currency built to circumvent government to a major U.S. political party. This professor at NYU, David Yermak, says, for most of its history, crypto was really a nonpartisan issue because Republicans alike and Democrats alike did not understand it or care to learn more. I do think Republicans in the last year or two have begun to move a little more quickly in the area, he said. Let me just kind of skip ahead here. Overall, 7% of U.S. adults held or used crypto in 2023. This analyst says it's pretty clear that what the crypto industry wants is to buy as many politicians as possible to hijack the agenda of the American people and put their special interests on the top, according to Dennis Kelleher, CEO of Washington advocacy group Better Markets. The special interest is, of course, having little or no regulation. Trump's appearance at Bitcoin 2024, which we're going to see in about 15 minutes, is his latest show of support for the crypto industry. In a June fundraiser in San Francisco, Trump slammed Democrats' attempts to regulate the crypto sector. He met Bitcoin mining companies at his Mar-a-Lago resort last month. One of the people who attended that Mar-a-Lago meeting said, "We have tried to engage with the Biden administration and they have not been receptive, unfortunately. And former President Trump has been more than receptive and is now an active supporter of our industry." Trump recently indicated he would like to see more Bitcoin mining by U.S. firms. And crypto executives are upset with the Security and Exchange Commission's enforcement actions under U.S. President Joe Biden. Interesting. All right, let me just see. In a second, I'm supposed to have some video here. I'm supposed to get video in a moment. I don't have the video yet. Again, Trump is speaking at the Bitcoin 2024 conference in 14 minutes, trying to, I guess, court the crypto industry. I want to take a few comments from you guys before he speaks, but I'm supposed to get video anytime now, but he's supposed to speak at 3. So as soon as I have that video, I will put it up on the screen for you. Let me take some comments from you. Thanks, Ohio Rando, for your support. Ohio Rando says, I would have bet Vegas was hosting this conference. By the way, again, that article I was reading is via Reuters. Going to be exploring getting some more text content for you guys, articles to supplement our understanding of various events in the coming weeks. Hopefully I have more for you on that soon. Hopefully. Thanks to Princess Teapot for your support, very much appreciated, and also John Wayne for your support. All right, let me read a couple comments here. Bart Madness says that criminal FTX guy turned me off from cryptocurrency. Oh, hold on, I got it. Guys, I got it. Hold on, I got the video. I got the video. Hang on, let me get the video for you. This is the video.
Did in Congress. At times they talk about it, but that's what liberty's all about. Privacy. You're an individual. You can do what you want with your money.
So this is the conference right here. This is the Bitcoin 2024 conference.
All your money and
right
they
here.
allow you to spend a certain portion of it.
I don't know
So
who's
that's all the
talking,
principles
but Trump is
of
coming up in
liberty.
15 minutes.
So I think
Less than 15 minutes. Hang on, let me get the text
which
up there.
There's too much credit given to me that had anything to do with it. But
This is in
what
Nashville,
I say
Tennessee.
Is I talked about the problems that we have and how the principles of liberty solve our problems, and I believe in competing currencies and rein in the Fed's monopoly. And all of a sudden, somebody interpreted that. Maybe I didn't think this up, but it's what I love about it. It's a consequence of people concentrating on the principles of liberty, and because I so strongly
I'll turn up the volume in a
believe
second too.
in
Give me a
it.
second. I'm
And
just getting
I think
organized
that,
here.
We need a better effort. I work every single day to try to present the case for liberty so that people, the average people, just wake up. And so evidently, if people in this audience,
they're waking up, they're awake, and they're in line here, waiting to see Donald J. Trump. He's sitting here with the great Dr.
People
Ron
are saying
Paul.
it's Ron Paul?
Dr. Paul, would love to hear your thoughts on the
Hey, is Ron Paul speaking right now?
The economy today, obviously, in election 2024.
People are saying it's Ron Paul.
A huge issue. What are your thoughts on just the current state of inflation and savings for the average person?
I think we live witnessing now the cracking of the biggest bubble ever in the history of financial history, and that it's been created by the number one cause of course is the inflation of the money supply and the devaluing of the currency. But I date so much with August 15th, the 71, because that took and severed the last link to something with a definition. And I think you have to have
talking about the Nixon shock.
Yeah, when they closed that, I think you have to have a unit of account, morally and financially. But if you have no account, you know, and that's what the debate and the arguments going on now. Can and will you know, a Bitcoin be a unit of account? But I don't think there's a magic wand. I think it takes time to people understand that so that they measure things. Today, still, the majority of people still measure the unit of account as $1, and that's why the bubble keeps being bigger. But it's going to change. The bubble always ends, and it ends either by the government wising up, which they never do, and spend less money and quit printing money.
Is there a solution to the debt crisis that you see right now? If you were in
all right, so just to be clear, what's going on right now is we're bringing you live coverage. Former President Trump is going to, this is the, according to what I've read, this is the world's largest Bitcoin conference. That's according to what I have read. And this is called Bitcoin 2024. It's a Bitcoin conference in Nashville. And Trump is going to be speaking there in less than 10 minutes. And right now Ron Paul is speaking. That's Ron Paul over there on the monitor. But Trump is coming up in less than 10 minutes. So we are bringing you live coverage. I'm going to turn the volume back up here.
Because to get elected, so the people have responsibility too. But I think that's where the waking up is going. People are starting to wake up. I thought there was an awakening with COVID.
Right.
You know, when the people finally said, "What's up? What are you doing this to me for?" And the whole thing is, you know, people waking up. The government took over the medical care system and gave all those directions. They were tyrants. You know, they didn't allow us to make the medical decisions, and they controlled. They did this in education. Right. So it's the taking over the monetary policy. The symbolic date or the...
I'm sorry, really quick, this is the world's largest... Multiple articles I've read have said this is the world's largest Bitcoin conference. A CNN article says it's the world's largest the industry's largest annual gathering. So Trump is going to speak in about 8 minutes. Ron Paul is on the monitor right now. Sorry, I was reading your comments, but we saw the speaker, so I want to let you guys hear Ron Paul speaking.
Away from Donald J. Trump's historic speech at the Bitcoin conference, I want to talk a little bit about your Bitcoin journey. Maybe you can tell us how your thoughts on Bitcoin have evolved in 2012.
Actually, hang on. So again, sorry, I have to time somebody out. Thank you, Wecco, for your support, but I think you're trolling. We're going to be bringing you live coverage. We don't cover every campaign event, but if a campaign event by one of the candidates is particularly interesting or noteworthy, and I have footage of it, I will cover it for you. So today, I think this is very interesting. Trump is addressing the world's largest Bitcoin conference, the Bitcoin 2024 conference in Nashville, and he's going to be speaking in about 7.5 minutes, and Ron Paul is speaking at the moment.
Recognize that they own their lives, they ought to own their own money, and there's one strict rule of this almost total freedom, is you can't use violence and you can't defraud, because if you break the rules of natural law, it's not going to work out. And that's a contest that's been going on for thousands of years, the good and the bad and the natural law. But we're up against right now in this country groups of people that said, you guys, you believe in this truth thing. You're always seeking truth. What is right and wrong? And they actually have a philosophy. Marxism is based on this. They don't have it. Don't waste your time trying to find out what truth is, because there is no truth. So what does that do? Opens up the door to tyranny. You know, that's what they do. It's an open up the force. That's where we are. And then the bubbles, and I see it as a moral bankruptcy and a financial bankruptcy. And it does end, and it is ending. This bubble's going to burst. The biggest question is, how are they going to survive? How will we survive? And that is what we don't know. If it isn't connected with maximizing and the understanding of liberty, it's not going to work. And so sometimes this has gone through history at times, and sometimes that we'll end up getting a worse government. So if things don't come along where they decide that the principles of limited government and personal freedom, if that's not acceptable, we're all going to suffer more. We see some of the results, in our cities now, with more homeless people and all this. That's the pay.
Hey, a quick thanks. Sorry, I just want to keep people who are joining the stream, let you know what's going on. Quick thanks to Roger Shoemaker and PZ Papa Zulu for your support. So in about 5 minutes, former President Trump is going to be addressing the world's biggest Bitcoin conference. This is Bitcoin 2024. Apparently Trump, it looks like courting the crypto industry vote and crypto fan vote. We'll see what he has to say. But he's going to be speaking in 5 minutes. So we wanted to bring you live coverage of what I think is an interesting campaign event. If Kamala Harris had addressed this conference, I would bring you that as well. So try to bring you interesting campaign events when I can. I appreciate you being here in the stream. Thank you to our moderators. We are going to hear Trump speak very shortly.
Well, is there a candidate?
And Ron Paul is speaking right now.
Facing America, is there a candidate in this election that has impressed you?
Oh, yeah, about 10. Well, I don't get into the personalities. I think we get lost sometimes at one time because I was never a person in politics. I was a person that was enthusiastic, that I wanted to speak out, and that was a vehicle. So I don't deal with parties, but I go out and see people and talk to people, and I've met Trump, and the one thing about Trump, and this may be talking out of school, he might say, you shouldn't be talking about our conversation, that his personality was different. He was much more cordial than I ever believed.
Well, people in person.
It was different. Some people would interpret his personality differently, but I really try to avoid it. If anybody wants to talk about freedom, and I can have an influence, then I'm interested.
Well, we're here with Dr. Ron Paul. We're going to send it over to the main stage. Of course, his legacy lives on in the conversations here at Bitcoin 2024 in Nashville, Tennessee, minutes away from Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States, taking the stage. We'll be right back with fast reactions of what happens on stage here at the Mara News Desk. Dr. Paul, thank you so much for joining us, and another round of applause from everyone. It was great.
Good to see everybody.
I gotta cut it while the music is playing. All right. Oh, hold on.
Markets diluted.
Hold on. They're playing music right now, so I need to hold up the. I need to stop the volume. As soon as they stop playing music, I will bring you the sound. Okay. Hang on a second. Let me just make sure my levels are okay here. My sound levels. But we are bringing you live coverage. Let's see here. Ooh, why is this all messed up? Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. That's better. My mic was a little low. I don't know why, but it was. But now it's better. Okay. So again, I think it might be a little high now. Testing 1, 2, 3. I'm looking at my levels. Sorry if my levels are a bit high. I'm trying to get adjusted here. Hang on. Yeah, again, they're playing music. I can't play the music.
I don't mind. Hello, how are we feeling?
Do we have no music? Let's see.
Nashville, how are we feeling?
Here we go.
I can't hear you. Let's make some noise. That's better. That's better. We are moments away from seeing President Donald J. Trump, but before then, we have a quick announcement. I would like to tell you all, first of all, from the bottom of our team's hearts at the BTC Inc., the Bitcoin Conference, and Bitcoin Magazine, thank you. Thank you for coming to witness this historic moment. Thank you for coming to celebrate Bitcoin. We are so excited to have you here, and we're so excited as well to have you next year. we want to give you a quick video. Let's roll it. Big announcement.
Next year.
I can't play the video because there's music, but we'll have Trump speaking. Trump's going to come out in a moment. Hey, real quick, thanks so much to Walter Beasley for your support. Walter says, I love Bitcoin. And Ross Cleland, thanks for your support. We are about to Trump is about to speak, and we will, as soon as this video is over, I think maybe he's going to come out and speak. We are going to hear him at the largest Bitcoin conference in the world.
Wait to see you in Las Vegas. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great honor to introduce CEO of BTC Inc., the man, the myth, the legend, David Bailey. Please come on out.
We're waiting for this person to come out now. Any moment, Trump speaking. I got to get the clock
Hello?
off the screen. Oh, hold on.
Wow. Wow. We've come a long ways in 10 years. This crowd is insane. Are y'all having fun? You know, as Dr. Paul always said, it's an idea whose time has come. Bitcoin is an idea whose time has come. So I want to thank the leadership of Donald Trump for coming out, supporting us, supporting our cause. And I also want to give him a special thanks, and I'd like all of you to give him a special thanks for committing to commute Ross Ulbricht's sentence on day one of his administration. This crowd is insane. Let's go. You know, I remember the first Bitcoin conference I went to. There was, I don't know, 800 people there. I think there's 8,000 people in this room. You know, this is a special moment in time. You can feel the energy here. The fact that we have 10 U.S. senators here, we have 2 presidential candidates here. Bitcoin is the future of this country. And it's not a red party thing, and it's not a blue party thing. It's an orange party thing. So with that, I want to show y'all something. You know, who better than the man himself, Donald J. Trump, to lead the Orange Party? But we also wanted to give him a little gift from the Bitcoin community. So I'm holding in my hand a Cassasius coin from 2013. Okay, there's 1 Bitcoin on here. A Bitcoin OG flew halfway around the world to come and deliver this for the president. So on behalf of the entire Bitcoin community, I want to give Donald Trump a Bitcoin, non-custodial Bitcoin, and I want us to officially greet him as a Bitcoiner. So with that, I don't know if he's ready yet. We're going to be joined by the 45th and hopefully 47th President of the United States.
Let's see. Is he coming out right now? At some point.
All right.
Not ready yet. Not ready yet.
Okay.
It's not me. I am not the President of the United States. Maybe someday. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so excited. We are just waiting for everything to be ready. Give us a little time. We're going to play some music. We'll be right back.
All right, I can't play the music.
Any minute
so
now, don't worry.
I'm going to talk to you while they play the music because I can't play the music. So any minute now, Trump is coming out. Hey, a quick thanks to Donna Smith for the gift memberships, PZ Wheats, Crift Network, and Anglo Blackson for your support. Crift Network thinks blockchain is the future of AI and the Internet of Things. So this is the biggest this is the biggest Bitcoin conference in the world. And Trump is appearing. RFK Jr., so one of our viewers said he appeared yesterday. I believe he appeared sometime at the conference the last couple of days. It might have been yesterday. I don't have the exact date. But Trump courting the crypto vote, I guess you could say. He's going to appear anytime now. Are they playing music? Or not? Hold on. I'm hearing nothing. I'm hearing no music or anything. I wonder if Reuters cut their sound while they're waiting. Well, we're live, so as soon as he comes out and starts speaking, we're bringing it to you live. Let me just do a little test of something here. Let me do a little test of something here just to make sure you guys can hear sound. You're going to hear me, two of me. Let me do a little test of something. Right, so everything's working sound-wise here. Thanks to all of our moderators. I really appreciate you being here. And thanks to Patrick K. for your support. Again, we don't cover every Trump campaign event. We don't cover every Harris campaign event. But if there's something particularly unique or noteworthy or interesting, I do like to, and I can give you live footage. I certainly like to cover it. So I thought this was an interesting event today. The crowd seems a bit rowdy, but we're bringing you live coverage. So he is expected at any moment. Let me take a few more comments from you. And you can write to me on X at Lookner, although I don't know how much time we have before he starts. So they're expecting him at any moment. One of our viewers said, let's see if the price moves while he's speaking. That was King Salami said that. Thank you. Walter said that he enjoyed RFK Jr.'s speech at the Bitcoin conference yesterday. That's what Walter said. Walter Beasley. Thanks, Walter. Let's see here. Again, we were waiting for him to come out and speak. Thanks so much, Gordon Gott. Gordon says Nashville's a fun city to visit. Thank you, Gordon. Much appreciated. The current Bitcoin price, one of our viewers mentioned it, is, I'm looking it up online, 68,342. Donna Smith says he's always late. But they did say, like if he wasn't even there yet, I don't think they'd say he's coming out right now. So, again, the scheduled start time was 3, it's 3:06, but it sounds like, again, they didn't say oh, his plane hasn't landed yet or something. So it sounds like it's pretty close. They say, again, I was reading you a Reuters article before where it says Trump's appearance at Bitcoin 2024 is his latest show of support for the crypto industry. In a June fundraiser in San Francisco, Trump slammed Democrats' attempts to regulate the sector. And he also met Bitcoin mining companies at his Mar-a-Lago resort last month. That is from Reuters. The Reuters article also says traders betting on a second Trump presidency are flocking to asset classes likely to get a boost under his administration. The chief investment officer of New Edge Wealth, Cameron Dawson, told Reuters that crypto and Bitcoin in particular are the cleanest and most direct way to play the Trump trade so far. By the way, this is not my advice. I'm just reading you this from a Reuters article. The article title is Trump, Republicans court crypto votes and dollars at Bitcoin 2024 conference. So we are waiting for him to speak any moment now, bringing you live coverage. He is not there yet, obviously, but they've already introduced him. It was a little weird when the guy from the conference said something like, it's appropriate that he's speaking at the Orange conference or something. It was just kind of, I don't know if Trump would like hearing that. I don't know, but it seems risky to say that to me. Carol O'Neill says, will Trump encourage his supporters to invest in crypto? That I have no idea, and I don't know what he's going to say today. I assume he's going to say good things about crypto. We Are All Human says, well, this is interesting. Oh, Bob P. It's interesting. One of the speakers right before this from the conference, I believe it was, said they were. I think they said they were giving Trump some sort of coin that had a Bitcoin on it, or maybe it had the digital information for the Bitcoin on it, because a Bitcoin is not a physical thing. But one of our viewers says, is that a campaign contribution? Will he claim it on his personal taxes? I don't know if it's a campaign contribution, but I would think if somebody gives you a Bitcoin that's worth $68,000, I think that's more than the amount. I think you have to claim that on your taxes. I would think on your income taxes. I don't know if he's actually, by the way, I don't know if he's actually going to give it to him. I haven't seen it physically handed to Trump. Maybe Trump will say, I can't accept that or something. But I am not a tax attorney. But I do know there's a limit to the amount of money you can there's a limited amount of money you can receive as a gift, is it? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to look that up. The IRS website, frequently asked questions on gift taxes. Any transfer to an individual, either directly or indirectly, where full consideration measured in money or money's worth is not received in return. That's a gift. Yes, it says that in 2024, you can exclude $18,000 worth in gifts. That's what it says here. I'm reading from the IRS website. So if I'm reading this correctly, that's a big if. If I'm reading this correctly, that means if you get gifts throughout the year worth more than $18,000, then you have to start declaring it. Again, take this with a grain of salt. I'm gonna post the website I'm looking at, and you can look at it for yourself. IRS site, and I posted the link in the chat, so you can go read it if you want. So this is just my interpretation of what I'm reading. Walter says, not until you sell it. I don't know about that, Walter. I don't know. You might want to check out that page. The page I just posted on the air, in the chat. Oh, by the way, hold on. So this is interesting. It says the donor is generally responsible for paying the gift tax. Oh, so maybe it's the donor has to pay? Does the donor have to pay? Huh, that's interesting. Now I'm really confused. Maybe we have some tax attorneys in the audience. This has nothing to do with the stream, by the way. So, well, it tangentially does. I'm looking at some different websites here. Well, I don't know about that because I got to look this up. H&R Block says, generally the person receiving a gift typically does not have to pay gift tax. This is interesting. I don't know. Maybe it's the donor who has to pay. But there is a certain amount you can give somebody every year where it's not taxed. But I don't even know what the gift tax is. Anyways, if you're giving big gifts, maybe look up information about the gift tax. No, we actually looked up the web page for this conference, and he was scheduled to speak. The agenda had him speaking at 2 p.m. Nashville time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern time. They have already introduced him, but then they said, oh, he's not ready yet. So he was supposed to speak 14 minutes ago. I mean, I'm not surprised it's running a little late. But just to be clear, the designated start time was 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central. So maybe you don't have to declare it on your taxes if you receive a gift. But there's clearly gift tax that the IRS has in the US on donors if you donate more than a certain amount of money, I think during the year. Or if you give somebody a certain amount of money, or maybe just gifts of other value during the year. Anyways. So again, if you're into gifting things of large value to people in the United States, you might want to check out the IRS page on the gift tax. I do not claim to be a tax expert. Hey, thanks, Martin Gingrich. Martin Gingrich says, my tax guy said not until I sell it. Well, I also don't know how it works with crypto. If somebody gives you crypto and then you sell it, maybe you have to pay capital gains tax on it. I don't know. This is not my field. This is not a financial advice stream. So I'm not going to I'm not going down that road. Anyways, we're just waiting for Trump to speak. Thanks, Boomer Wow. Boomer Wow says the person giving the gift declares it on a gift tax return. The recipient does not. Accountant here. That's what Boomer Wow says. Thanks, Boomer Wow, for your support. And Grease 107. I hear some sound. Greece thinks that the coin that the person wanted to give Trump had more than one Bitcoin on it because of past hard forks. That I don't know. I mean, the person said it had one Bitcoin on it, but I have no idea. All right, so again, any moment now, he will come out and speak. I think what happened is I think the Reuters camera turned off their sound while waiting for Trump to come out, because we heard the introductory speakers, we heard them perfectly. So I think, and then they said we're going to play some music until Trump comes out. And I think what happened is that the Reuters camera person cut their sound until Trump comes back out. That's why we're not hearing any audio from the audience right now. Do you have any comments on Trump speaking at the biggest the biggest Bitcoin conference in the world? Give me a shout at Lookner on X, or I'm going to check the chat as well. It's interesting that he's speaking to them. Stephen Wynn says you would think Trump would be quite popular at this conference because he has always been pro-crypto, while Biden cracked down on it with new regulations, especially on mining. Now, something to clarify about this. I was reading you guys this Reuters article titled Trump, Republicans court crypto votes and dollars at Bitcoin 2024 conference, this conference. Now, one thing it did say in the article, it said Trump once blasted cryptocurrency, calling it a scam in 2020. Now he is headlining one of the industry's biggest conferences. But they also say in the article that they have a section called Trump's New Embrace. And they say, Trump's appearance at this conference is the latest show of support for the industry. In a June fundraiser in San Francisco, he slammed Democrats' attempts to regulate the sector. He met Bitcoin mining companies at his Mar-a-Lago resort last month. Trump recently indicated he would like to see more Bitcoin mining by U.S. firms, says Reuters. The article also says that crypto executives are upset with SEC enforcement actions under U.S. President Joe Biden. The SEC has alleged that several crypto companies, including Coinbase and Binance, facilitate the trading of digital assets on their platform that should have been registered as securities, which the firms deny. Reuters also says that Vice President Harris would likely advance Biden's crypto policies if she wins the presidential election in November. So maybe, it sounds like from this article that Trump is maybe positioning himself as someone who would regulate the industry less. I don't know for sure. That seems to be what the article is implying.
Jordi Montez, please proceed to the exit immediately. Jordi Montez.
Okay, so the sound is working. The sound is working, guys. Breaking news, the sound's working.
Jordi Montez, once again, please proceed to your nearest exit. Jordi Montez, thank you.
The sound is working. Also, CNBC has an article posted today, and the headline of the CNBC article is Trump's Bitcoin conference speech aims to lock down crypto support as Harris gains momentum. CNBC also says this is quite the 180 turn after Trump very publicly dismissed Bitcoin when he was in the White House. This is interesting. CNBC also reports that the conference organizers say they were briefly in talks to have Vice President Harris appear, but she ultimately declined. That's according to CNBC. Interesting. All right, so any moment now, Trump is supposed to come out and speak. Jelly Plane says Trump is waiting for Jordi to leave. I don't know who that Jordi person they were asking to come to the exit is. Now the camera, I would assume, will zoom in when he starts speaking because the camera zoomed in before. Hey, thanks to Boss Play for your support. Thank you, Boss Play. Yes, Boss Play, I have, but we're keeping the focus on this. We're keeping the focus on this topic right now. Perhaps we will have other streams on other news events this weekend. Thank you, Boss Play 98. I appreciate it. Is he in the building? I assumed he was because around 3 when he was supposed to start speaking, like the people on the stage were acting like he was going to come out right then. I don't know for sure though, but it did really sound like they thought he was about to come out. Now maybe he's talking to people in the back or something, I don't know. Politico says Trump is making an effort to cement his candidacy with the cryptocurrency industry and shake it for campaign cash. They also say that Trump's appearance at this conference is the latest sign that a second Trump era term would likely usher in policies friendly to digital asset firms. That's what Politico says. They also say that major cryptocurrencies and major crypto companies and their investors are spending millions of dollars to influence this year's elections. Again, any moment now, Trump is supposed to come out and speak at the world's biggest Bitcoin conference. Somebody posted something which breaks our rules. So we got it. Thanks to all of our moderators here as we wait for Trump to speak. AJ, thank you for moderating. I really appreciate it. Ruth Krafasi, thank you. Sarah55, thank you. Farquad on Twitch, thanks for your support. Oh, Farquad was a little while ago. Sorry, I got confused. Farquad's resubscribed. Thanks, Farquad. And over there on Twitch also, I got that fire. McBritches, Sarah, Papa Bear, and Surly Dev are moderating. Thank you. Thanks to our Facebook moderators too. Paul Anderson, thank you so much. Margaret Riley, thanks for moderating. I really appreciate it. I think I missed the Facebook moderators before. My bad. My bad. Linda Belk and Larry on X. Well, he's running a little late. It was supposed to be 3 o'clock Eastern time. It's now 3:25. We'll see any moment now. I think we're not going to cover it, but I think he has a rally later today. He is doing a rally in St. Cloud, Minnesota tonight. This is Nashville. Mark Allen, our viewer, mentioned that the Nashville police posted on their Twitter account or X account that people should expect intermittent traffic delays in the areas of B&A and downtown Saturday afternoon for the security of former President Trump. And if you are catching or meeting a flight Saturday afternoon, please allow for extra travel time. Hey, thank you, Princess Teapot. Where can you learn the basics of crypto? I don't have off the top of my head like one place. I mean, certainly you could search various sites on the web. I'm guessing there's probably YouTube channels that talk about it too. I don't personally have a recommendation for you. There might be people in the chat who do. Thank you so much, Princess Teapot. Carol O'Neill says maybe there is a crypto for dummies. Ryan thinks crypto is super sketchy. Stay away. Now, just to make this clear, this stream is not an endorsement of crypto. I haven't said anything pro or con about crypto myself on the stream. But we're covering it because it's interesting to see Trump making a point of speaking to this crypto conference, this Bitcoin conference. Again, sorry for the delay. Sorry for the delay. Maybe I can tell you a little bit more about the conference. Do they have an about section? Let's see. Oh no, it's Bitcoin 2024 is the name of the conference. What is Bitcoin 2024? The Bitcoin 2024 website says this is the go-to event for anyone curious or passionate about Bitcoin. It's more than a conference, they say. It's an immersive experience aimed at aspiring, educating, and connecting the global Bitcoin community. Featuring a lineup of top speakers and educators, they say. The all-inclusive VIP experience pass they sell is called a whale pass for the conference. Roughly speaking, whales are like really big investors. How much does it cost? How much did the camera cost? How much did it cost to go to this? I'm looking it up. I can't find it right now. All right, it's 3:30. He was supposed to speak at 3. I'm sorry for the delay. Just waiting for Trump to come out. LB says, do you think Trump will be paid in Bitcoin or lots of paper money? I don't believe he's getting paid to do this. I mean, this is a campaign event, so I would assume it seems like maybe it serves both sides for him to do it, because he's, lets him reach this crypto group. So they did say they were going to give him a coin with a Bitcoin on it. Go back, if you want to go back like a half an hour, you can hear the speaker said it. You can hear the speaker say exactly what they said. I'm kind of just summarizing there. Ronnie Dyer says something was going on. The last guy that was speaking was ready for Trump to come on. Look, maybe they just didn't speak to Trump personally and they knew he was there and they just assume, oh, I don't know how much, Trump might have been like, no, I'm not ready to go on yet, So maybe Trump is talking to some people in the back, talking to some crypto people or something, or maybe he just wasn't ready yet. Ray D says he's always late. No, it's again, but I know what the viewer was saying is because the organizers who were speaking, whoever was speaking a half hour ago, they really seemed to think he was right about to come out. Sclerotissimus asked me a question about one of the speakers said, I'm not the person to go to for specific crypto stuff. I am not a crypto expert. Babalu says, admitting I am crypto illiterate. So thanks for broadcasting at this event. It'll be interesting to see what he says. No, Trump has a rally tonight in Minnesota. He was scheduled to do this. This was scheduled 3 p.m. Eastern time was the schedule. One of our viewers said people in suits are moving. Around 3 o'clock when he was supposed to start speaking, a bunch of people came in the front. I did see that. No, I'm not covering the Minnesota rally. I don't even have I have no footage of the Minnesota rally. I do see some people moving in the front, but I don't know who those people are. Duck Duck Go Fast says maybe the Secret Service wasn't ready yet. NBC News has a headline, "Spectre of Trump and absence of Harris hangs over annual crypto gathering." The NBC News also mentions Trump's recent embrace of Bitcoin. They also point out, NBC News, just weeks ago, Trump officially made supporting cryptocurrencies an official plank of the GOP's platform. This is interesting. One other thing I want to mention that NBC News reported, they said the crypto crowd has historically been skeptical of politicians and institutions, but with the perception among many in the crypto community that the Biden administration has stifled the technology, convention attendees told NBC News that Trump would be a step in the right direction. All right. Any moment now, Trump is supposed to speak. He was supposed to start at 3 o'clock. It's now 3:35. I'm sorry for the delay. There's nothing I can do about that. We are bringing you live coverage. Ad infinitum says, "Where is Trump?" I haven't seen any reporting saying he was delayed. Brenda says he's running late. I mean, look, when presidential candidates speak, it can be, a lot of Biden, both Biden and Trump, I have covered events where they start quite late. Hey, Jeremiah says getting a strange feeling about this. Again, it's not uncommon for something like this to run this late. So I haven't heard that anything is off or anything. Anna says there's probably a security issue. That I haven't heard of one. There could be. I'm not sure. There was that one thing that happened like a half hour ago where they called for somebody to go to the exit. I don't know who that person was. Maybe it was somebody who works at the conference. But they sort of urgently, it seemed like, called for someone to go somewhere. But I have not seen. I know it was supposed to start at 2 Nashville time, 3 Eastern time. But I have seen no reporting on anything like significant that's making him late. I will certainly let you know if I do. Hey, thanks, Princess Teapot. That's so kind of you. Thank you. So really, any moment now. A couple of our viewers like JD think there might be something wrong with the teleprompter. But that crowd has just been waiting there. Big crowd there. I wonder how many people go to this conference. I got to look that up and see if I can find it. Let's see here. I don't know. Some people are saying 8,000 are in the venue. A couple of our viewers claimed that 8,000 people are in the venue. Now that I'm not sure of. Oh, Wayne Malouf said the speaker said there was 8,000 people there. Is that true? Maybe I just missed that. CoinDesk says there is speculation that Trump will announce plans or at least hopes for the U.S. government to hoard a Bitcoin strategic reserve. They also said maybe he'll diss Vice President Harris for reportedly declining an invitation to speak at the conference. The Block, which is a crypto site, says that Trump shifted towards a more positive stance on crypto in the first half of this year. The Block says that in mid-July, Trump said U.S. must take the lead in the cryptocurrency industry, surpassing China. The Block also says J.D. Vance, Trump's vice presidential pick, is also pro-crypto. That's according to the site The Block. It is 3:40. Again, I apologize. He was supposed to speak at 3 Eastern time.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're experiencing a small delay of roughly 20 minutes. Thank you for your patience.
Wait, what? A delay of 20 minutes? A delay of 20 minutes? He's going to speak at 4? What happened? They didn't say anything. What's going on?
So, editor at Bitcoin Magazine, the script is out the window. The
What's
main
this
event
now?
of Bitcoin 2024 was minutes away. We're waiting for Donald J. Trump and potentially a special guest. Expectations are high. Strategic
Potentially a special
Bitcoin
guest?
reserve potentially on the table. RFK yesterday making history with an aggressive policy plan, calling on America to stockpile 4 million Bitcoin. Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy making the same appeal. We've got a new round of panelists to discuss as we await history to happen on the Nakamoto stage. I've got Matt Odell to my left, founder of 1031 Ventures. We've got Mr. Mike Germano, president of Bitcoin Magazine, and Q Gahimi. You know him as our roving reporter on the stream. He's been around the venue, talking with people, getting into the expectations, the insights, everything that's been going on. Obviously, a big announcement on stage before the waiting period that we're now entering, that Donald J. Trump is now a Bitcoiner. The Bitcoin community banding together to gift 1 Bitcoin to Donald J. Trump. Mike, your reaction to this news?
Rizzo, I really appreciate you calling on me first as I came running over here from the main stage.
Boy, that's because you know what happened in the room.
Yes. So, folks, one of the wonderful things that are happening here, if you not see, there's a massive line that's outside because obviously 4 weeks ago, we weren't even expecting to have a
I mean, I've seen the video. It looks absolutely wild. Is there people really lined up outside the block right now?
Oh, there's people outside the block. The room is full. It's to capacity. You know, we had to, once again, deal with fire codes. I want to say thank you to the Secret Service that did an unbelievable job here at the event. Not only were we excited that RFK got his Secret Service detail, which he deserved, but obviously they're paying a little bit more attention with President Trump now at Secret Service. So, you know, we have our expo hall. We have all the main stages. So going through Secret Service, you actually have to go through TSA. So I don't think Bitcoiners would ever expect having to go through TSA. Matt Odell's a big fan of TSA. So
Proof
really
that election 2024 has come to Bitcoin 2024. Q, you're joining us from the floor. You've been covering all aspects of this venue. Maybe take us into what's happening outside. Right now, we're just seeing a room of energized people looking at TV screens lined up to try to get in to see Donald J. Trump, to see this special guest waiting. What are you seeing?
I mean, look, we got in here very early in the morning, and from the start, before doors were even open, people were lining up in anticipation of this talk. People immediately, they got in, they didn't want to do anything else. They went straight to the screenings, went down into the Nakamoto stage, and I saw people with books. I saw people like prepared to camp to make sure that they can just stay there all day to have seats to watch this historic event transpire. Never in any of the Bitcoin conferences that I've been to have I seen anything like this. We're making history today.
Of course, the waiting is building expectation. Is this raising the stakes for what Donald Trump has to say on stage? Mike.
He's a showman. Donald Trump's a showman, right? I mean, I'm expecting it to come out with like money, 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 money. Like this is, this guy, he's an apprentice. He's teaching us a lot. He's a showman. I think he's building up the hype. And right now, I want to point out Ron Paul, who's a doctor, the good doctor. He kind of ran as fast as he could over there, and he's in the hall with everybody. He got a wondrous applause when he came in. And right now, we're actually finally the live stream is being broadcasted to everybody in that room. So we want to thank everybody, for waiting. We are working on it. There's obviously a lot of security, which is exciting, and we are definitely not buying time up here. We're taking it very seriously.
Well, we're really working through the issues. We're talking about the policy proposal that Trump might put forth. Of course, already a slew of public statements from Donald Trump since his reversal earlier this year on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Of course, his big issues, energy independence, coming out against CBDCs, recognizing that we're a growing industry and constituency, and really maybe the biggest one, he doesn't want to lose a foreign advantage that we might have in the international stage. Matt, why don't you take us in?
I want to see the president lead us forward on the next generation of American success. I want to see America become the best country in the world to run a Bitcoin business. I want to see America become the best place in the world to be an open source developer. And I want to see America start stacking the hardest asset that the world has ever seen in a big way.
Well, a lot of talk that this might really be a 1990s moment for Bitcoin, really the internet becoming mainstream during that decade, breaking through and with legislation in America, really powering economic productivity for the next decade. Q, your thoughts on how what Donald J. Trump might say on stage might compare to this time period where we know America embraced innovation and could do so again?
I mean, we are bearing witness to the game theory playing out in real time. When Jack Mallers announced El Salvador adopting Bitcoin in 22, it was an incredible moment. The euphoria in that room sends chills down my spine just talking about it. I could not imagine that just 2 years later we would even be remotely having this conversation about America potentially having some sort of adoption, looking towards it. Germano's getting jumpy. Go ahead.
The only thing I think we're talking about what Trump's going to do. There's one thing that Trump needs to do. The one thing he promised is he needs to free Ross on day one. Right. That is the one thing that he needs to do. And my hope is when he gets in, he free Rosses on day one. And then when we look at Bitcoin 2025 in Las Vegas, there's only one person that everyone's going to want to see speak, and that would be Ross.
So let's talk about Ross Ulbricht, founder of Silk Road. Of course, the reason that many people became Bitcoiners. Maybe, Matt, you can speak to Ross and his importance to this community and why so many people champion his cause.
I mean, I think at the core of the issue here is Ross has been in jail, often in solitary confinement, for 15 years now. It was a nonviolent crime. He was running a Bitcoin-powered drug marketplace. And I think it crosses party lines, the fact that he has done more than enough time served. President Trump has promised to commute his sentence day one. And that's a key point there. Not pardon his sentence, not say he was not guilty, but commute it for time served. I would really like to see that. I will say that that falls under the context of believing a presidential candidate's campaign promises. I will say a lot of other things President Trump can announce today, actually, he doesn't even need to fulfill for it to become a self-fulfilling prophecy, which is part of the reason it makes it such a crazy moment. And the fact alone that President Trump has come down to Nashville, to the largest Bitcoin conference in the world, to talk about Bitcoin and talk about innovation in America is a massive achievement in itself that not enough people appreciate at this moment, but they will appreciate in 2 decades. They will appreciate in 3 decades. They will look back on it and be like, that was it. That was the paradigm shift right there.
We're waiting for Donald J. Trump to take the main Nakamoto stage with a special guest. Of course, we're talking about something more somber, the freedom of Ross Ulbricht at stake in election 2024, meaningful for a country and a community, but also meaningfully for family. Mike, I know you've spent...
Who is the special guest going to be? Some of you guys think the special guest is going to be Elon Musk. I don't know. So Trump was supposed to speak at 3 Eastern time. It's now 3:49. I guess he's going to speak in about 10 minutes, it sounds like. And they keep saying a special guest, calling about a special guest.
About not being able to see your kid is a thought I don't want to have. And so when you see Lynn, and she keeps coming every year, it makes you want to do it a little bit more. It makes you do the research. It makes you be willing to wear the free T-shirts, the 10,000 T-shirts we have outside. Everybody in that auditorium right now who's wearing a T-shirt, right, they all want to see that happen too. They get to be part of this movement. And if you didn't have, a mom like Lynn, I don't think this movement would be here. And, I would like to say, even at Bitcoin Magazine, every single employee, Free Ross seems to creep up on everything. I want to give a shout out to Tommy. Tommy, our resident crazy designer who pushed Free Ross everywhere.
Right, this has been a core advocacy push from Bitcoin Magazine. Any issue, if you go online, subscribe now, you'll find a Free Ross ad. So Mike, maybe as the publisher of Bitcoin Magazine, you can tell us why we've sent that message to so many people through our magazine.
Well, number one, it's because the magazine team always swaps out an ad and puts a Free Ross ad in anyway and doesn't tell me. So I don't have a choice. But I think that's what it means for, once again, Ross helped a lot of us maybe buy our first Bitcoin for didn't matter what reason, right? And more importantly, it's a movement that is something we're excited to get behind. And as a publisher of a print magazine, we want to just thank all the people who subscribe to it. If you didn't do that, we wouldn't have had the money to do the long-form journalism. We wouldn't have had the money to put on this event. So we really appreciate those who believe in our cause too. And so we'd have to believe in a cause like freeing Ross.
Moments away from Donald J. Trump taking the stage, we're told a special guest is on the way. We want to back up. This is a historic moment. People from around the country coming in for the first time. Mike, you mentioned Dr. Ron Paul on this stage earlier today, speaking to the hundreds of thousands of people watching, really about his personal life, his crusade against central banking, about the monetary policy issues that are affecting America, and of course the economy. Such a big deal this year. People just feel like they can't get ahead. The TikTok videos going viral. People don't understand what's happening to them. To the average American voter who's coming to this for the first time, seeking answers, we say Bitcoin fixes this. What does this mean, Matt O'Dell?
I didn't realize you're going to call him. I just want
you sit next to me.
I just want to say that after we free Ross, I would really like to see in the American government and across the American political spectrum, the priority be placed that America becomes a place where code is protected speech. I believe the Constitution already protects it. I believe that we have developers right now that are sitting in jail, one notably being Samurai developers, that should be freed immediately, and that protection should be in place going forward. So
I'm going to turn this down for a second. So we're waiting for Trump to speak at the biggest Bitcoin conference in the world, the Bitcoin 2024 conference. I have mentioned a number of reports saying that in recent months, Trump has begun to embrace the crypto community more. One sign of that is that he is speaking at the world's biggest crypto conference. And as you heard, the organizers have said in the last hour that a special guest will be appearing with Trump. That might have been the reason for the delay. I don't know who that special guest is, but they've now said it 3 different times. That there's twice. Once they said there might be a special guest, and then twice more they said there will be a special guest. So it sounds like they think he's going to start at about 4 Eastern time, in about 6-7 minutes, and we are waiting for it to to happen, and we're bringing it to you live. I don't cover every Trump event. I don't cover every Harris event. But if there's one that's particularly noteworthy or interesting, I cover that, and I have. So we're covering this today. So let's see what happens. Again, I don't know. Some of you think it's going to be Elon, the special guest. Some of you think other people. So we'll have to see.
At the Bitcoin Conference at Music City Center here in Nashville, Tennessee. Stay with us. We'll be right back on X, YouTube, and Rumble. Stay tuned.
Oh, okay.
The Bitcoin Conference. We started with
I can't play the sound because the videos have music under them, so I can't play the sound when they're playing the music. It kind of looked like they were running late, and they're like, we better have somebody talk. It kind of looked like they just kind of got that together, which I understand. Because if you go back 54 minutes ago at 3 Eastern time, when Trump was originally supposed to speak, there were a couple people on stage introducing Trump, and it sounded like they thought he was going to walk out right at that moment. So it sounds like the organizers, this was like a surprise delay, but maybe it's because somebody else is coming. So Fagan says it's Vivek. I think Vivek might have already spoken at the conference. I know he was supposed to speak, but he may have already spoken. I don't know. I'd have to look up on the agenda for the conference what the schedule was. But I believe he was already supposed to be a speaker. Did he already speak? Somebody in the chat said yes. Hold on. Yeah, Vivek. Oh, no. Hold on. According to the website, it says Vivek is supposed to be on a panel on this stage looks like maybe Vivek was supposed to speak after Trump. Because I'm looking at the website and it says Vivek, Martha Black, and Marsha Blackburn, and somebody else appearing on this stage at 2:35 p.m. local time, which was right after Trump. So for what it's worth, Vivek Ramaswamy and Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee were supposed to appear on this stage right after Trump spoke, but Trump has been delayed. So, because Trump was supposed to speak at 2 local... Actually, they were not supposed to speak right after Trump. It's kind of... So they were supposed to speak like an hour after Trump, okay? But just to be clear, Vivek and Marsha Blackburn were actually supposed to speak around an hour after Trump ended. So, I mean, Vivek's is supposed to be there. I don't know if that's the special guest, but he's already on the agenda to speak. So I don't know if that qualifies. Oh, hold on. Let's hear what they say.
Magazine. Once again, I'm your host, Pete Rizzo, editor at Bitcoin Magazine. The main event of Bitcoin 2024. History is coming, folks. Donald J. Trump in the building. You've seen the pictures of the motorcade, the videos, people lined up around the block. History is happening. Without a slight delay, we've got a special guest here to tell us a little bit about some Bitcoin basics. We know there's hundreds of thousands of people watching at home, many maybe learning about Bitcoin for the first time. Aaron Van Werdum, technical editor at Bitcoin Magazine, here to explain Bitcoin versus crypto in his own words.
Yes, so we have a Bitcoin conference, we have Bitcoin Magazine, so why do we focus on Bitcoin? Or what is the difference between Bitcoin and crypto? Well, when Satoshi Nakamoto first launched Bitcoin, it was truly the first of its kind. But it was also open source, so anyone could check the code, but also copy it and make edits. So this started happening early on. People started to copy Bitcoin and make tweaks to it. At first, these tweaks weren't very interesting. They had a different number of coins or a different hashing algorithm to create these coins, but they were very similar. Later on, some more ambitious projects came up that entered new futures, that had new futures that Bitcoin did not have. So that raised the question, what is the real innovation here? Is the innovation Bitcoin, or is the innovation cryptocurrency more generally? So these copies are called altcoins, and Bitcoin and altcoins both that as cryptocurrencies. Is it about Bitcoin or is it about cryptocurrencies? Well, some people will say the more the merrier, let the free market figure out.
Now what happened? Oh, there it is. Look, they changed it. It says Donald Trump keynote. Breaking news, they changed the graphic. It says Donald Trump keynote. Look,
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business, complicated business. Join me in welcoming Donald J. Trump, 45th President of the United States, and soon to be the 47th President of the United States.
And I'm proud to be.
Okay, I can't play the music. We're going to watch Trump come out, and as soon as Proud to be an American stops playing, I will have the sound on. I do not own the rights to Lee Greenwood, Proud to be an American. So they're playing Proud to be an American right now. He's walking out on stage. We can see it. And as soon as the song stops, I will put the audio on and let you hear Trump speak. There he is. There is Trump. He's coming out. We'll see who the special guest is. There's supposed to be a special guest. Are they still playing the song? Yeah, they're still playing the song. The song is still playing. I don't own the rights to the song. So there he is. As soon as the song stops, we will bring you Trump's speech to the biggest Bitcoin conference in the world, Bitcoin 2024. A special guest supposedly will appear with Trump. Supposedly. So we are bringing you a live coverage. He, I assume, is going to talk about crypto. Will he talk about other stuff besides crypto? We'll have to see. We'll just have to see. I appreciate you joining us for our live coverage of this interesting campaign event, Trump addressing the biggest Bitcoin conference in the world. The song is still playing that I don't own the rights to, Proud to be an American. So any moment now, the song will end, he will speak, and we will listen to him speak. And then I'll take some of your comments after he speaks. But thanks for your patience waiting. So it's 4 o'clock. He came on about an hour after he was supposed to start originally. The song is still playing. I'm sorry. Still the song is playing. They're doing the whole thing. That's why he's not speaking. All right. The song is almost over. I can tell you the song is almost over. All right. We are waiting. He is waiting for the song to stop. All right. It's just about to end. I can hear Lee Greenwood singing the last few words. Now he's walking to the stage. I was going to turn on the sound right now. Hang on right now.
Hello, Bitcoiners. Thank you very much. Hello. It's good to be with you. It's good to be with you. So, Secret Service just told me, sir, would like a little more time. I said, you take all the time you want. You can take 2 hours, 3 hours, the hell with the people that have been waiting out here. But I'm sure they don't mind either. But it is a great honor, and a lot of things are happening in the world. We just heard, you probably heard, that Israel was just attacked, very severely attacked. And Hezbollah looks like. And this is things that won't happen. I mean, you just can't. They have to respect us. They have to respect. They cannot do this. They cannot do this. What they did just now with that attack is terrible. Just happened. And so to all, God bless everybody. This is so serious. They have to respect our country. This would never have happened with us. And we just cannot let it continue. So we just wish them all a lot of luck. This happened as I'm walking on the stage. Most of you have heard about it, but it's a terrible thing. But I'm thrilled to be here in Nashville to become the first American president ever to address a Bitcoin event anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. I want to thank David Bailey for inviting me, special guy. You know, this whole love affair sort of started. David, about 4 months ago, was at Mar-a-Lago. I took a picture with him. I mean, he's a nice-looking guy. He's okay. He's out here someplace. But I took a picture. It got published, Trump and David Bailey. All of a sudden, your industry went through the roof. So, David, congratulations. Whatever the hell you do, you did a hell of a job. But as well as all of the Bitcoin luminaries and legends here, you have a legends in this room. They really are. Congratulations. Would the legends please stand up? Oh, everyone's standing anyway. That's nice. I used to say, sit down, everybody, sit down. But it's nice when they stand, including Tyler and Cameron. Do you know who that is? Winklevoss. These are great guys. They look like male models with a brain, you know? They're male models with a big, beautiful brain. Michael Saylor is here. Kathy Wood. Ron Paul and Rand Paul are here. Vivek is here. Vivek Ramaswamy. Where's Vivek? Where are you, Vivek? There he is. He's great. A man that I call Bob, but you probably know him as Kid Rock. Where's Kid Rock? Where is he? He's great. He's a good guy and a talented guy and another talented guy. He was so incredible, this one. He went and he played at the funeral of a great fireman who was killed, fire chief, killed a week and a half ago at the rally. And Billy Ray Cyrus went and played music for the family, and it was supposed to be so incredible. I've heard so many things about it. And Billy Ray Cyrus is here. Where's Billy Ray? He's around here someplace. And he's great. He's a conservative guy. Said, how did you get such a liberal daughter? How did that happen, Billy Ray? And by the way, Kid Rock was incredible at the convention. You probably saw him. You saw him? He was great. He was great. Another one, Jake Paul. You don't want to fight this guy. You know, you don't want to fight. He's got a big fight coming with Mike Tyson, but he's glad he didn't fight Mike when Mike was 19. He told me that today. But he's a fantastic guy, very talented guy in a lot of ways. Governor Joe Lombardo, who's fantastic, and we're doing well in his state. And he's going to make sure that there's no hanky-panky going on. And if that happens, we're going to win his great state. But you know who he is, and he's a fantastic governor. Senators Bill Hagerty, Marsha Blackburn, Cynthia Lummis, Tim Scott. And Tim was great. Boy, I'll tell you, he was such a strong voice for me. He was on so many shows and did such a great job. During the primaries, he was incredible. I want to thank him. Special guy. They're all special people. They're warriors. Tommy Tuberville. You know Tommy Tuberville? Senator from Alabama. And you have many members of Congress. Andy Ogles, Thomas Massey, John Rose, Mark Green and French Hill. And the next U.S. Senator from Ohio, I hear he's doing very well, Bernie Moreno. Where is Bernie? I hear Bernie's doing well. The great Laura Loomer. Some of you know Laura. She's a fantastic person, great woman. And a tremendous developer from New York and Florida, one of the best, Steve Witkoff. And he's got his son Alex with him today. That's an incredible family, development family. They've been supporters from the beginning. Howard Lutnick, Cantor Fitzgerald, incredible, one of the truly brilliant men of Wall Street, and a whole group of his distinguished guests and a lot of our distinguished guests. We have a lot of other people here, and I won't bother anymore. That's enough, because we have to talk about crypto. We have to talk about Bitcoin. We have to talk about all these great companies. But our country is blessed to have the extraordinary talent, energy, and genius represented in this room. It really is great genius. Not all of you, but most of you, many of you. But this is the kind of spirit that built America, and this is the spirit that's going to help us make America great again. That's what we're doing. I stand before you today filled with respect and admiration for what the Bitcoin community has achieved. It's incredible, actually. I sort of say to my sons, it's like incredible because they know so much about it. They're so aware of it, much more so than people that are a little bit older. But I say this is the steel industry of 100 years ago. It really is. I think you're just in your infancy. I can see it happening. In just 15 years, Bitcoin has gone from merely an idea posted anonymously on an internet message board to being the 9th most valuable asset anywhere in the world. Can you believe that? Is that right? That's a big deal. Think of that. It's already bigger than ExxonMobil. Soon it will be surpassing the entire market cap of silver. It's not bad. How about gold? How about gold? Let's go gold. And one day it probably will overtake gold, but based on the way it's going now, it could very well be a possibility. There's never been anything like it, and I don't think you've ever seen anything like it. And most people have no idea what the hell it is. You know that, right? So what happens when they figure it out? That's going to really be something. Bitcoin is not just a marvel of technology. As you know, it's a miracle of cooperation and human achievement. And a lot of relationships that are formed. I just did a meeting, a roundtable with a lot of the leaders, and it's amazing. There's a great camaraderie. It's really interesting. There's competition, but there's a relationship, there's a friendship that's developed with a lot of these people. I noticed it. I don't usually see that too often. I see the opposite, actually. They want to get each other. They want to kill each other. These guys have a great feeling. Very smart people, too. Congratulations on all that you've accomplished. This room is amazing. The people in this room, high IQ individuals. I'm running against a low IQ individual, her. I'm not even talking about him, her. I got a low IQ individual. The reason I've come to address the Bitcoin community today can be summed up in two very simple words: America first. Because if we don't do it, China's going to be doing, others are going to be doing it. Let's do it and do it right. My vision is for an America that dominates the future. We have the best economy, the highest standard of living, the safest, the most beautiful cities. And by the way, when I say safest, our cities are going to hell right now. Our cities are going to hell. We're going to fix our cities. We're going to work with Democrats that have destroyed our cities, but we'll work with them, and we're going to get our cities back. We're going to bring our country back. And we really were the freest and the most ambitious, most dynamic nation ever to exist on Earth, and we're going to get that back again, because we're not there now. We're a nation in decline. You know it. We know it. Doesn't sound nice, but it's okay, because we're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back fast. Right now, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing what's happened. Even today, when you look at what we just said, that would never have happened if they respected our country. If we don't embrace crypto and Bitcoin technology, China will, other countries will, they'll dominate, and we cannot let China dominate. They are making too much progress as it is. And we want them to be successful. I don't want China to be successful, but we have to be the most successful. That's what's gonna happen. I want the United States to be first in technology, first in science, first in manufacturing, first in artificial intelligence, and first in space. You know, at MIT, my uncle was a professor there, Dr. John Trump. He would have fit in with this room very nicely, actually. That's why I mention it. And I believe he was the longest-serving professor in the history of MIT. He graduated. We have a very intelligent family, actually. He graduated tremendously. I think he has 3 different degrees, but they said, "Would you like to stay on, John, and be a professor?" "Well, I've got a lot of offers," I assume he said, "but I've got a lot of offers." Well, he was there for, I believe, 41 years. When I was in the White House, the head of MIT came to see me, and they presented me with a book on my uncle. He was a legendary guy in the academic world and in the world of MIT. So I understand a lot about what you're doing, and I have great respect for highly intelligent people. And you are highly intelligent. America's destiny is to lead our rivals in everything and to surrender our industries to no one. To no one. You know, some of you are involved with AI, but you also have the same thing. You need a thing called electricity. You need a lot of electricity. You know, AI needs to be really dominant And China can do it much easier. We have environmental impact statements to do, but we're going to do things that nobody thought were possible. You need tremendous amounts of electricity. You need double the electricity of the entire electricity that we have right now in the United States to dominate. And we'll get that done. Who would think we can get that done? But we're going to get it done. We'll be having power plants built at the sites. We'll be releasing people from certain ridiculous requirements. And we'll be using fossil fuel to make electricity because we're going to have to. We'll be using nuclear. We'll be doing it in an environmentally friendly way. But we will be creating so much electricity that you'll be saying, please, please, President, we don't want any more electricity. We can't stand it. You'll be begging me, no more electricity, sir. We have enough. We have enough. You know, in the Midwest, they just opened, it was very interesting, they just opened up 2 chargers, you know, a charger for the electric cars. And you know, I love Elon. He's great. He endorsed me and great endorsement and everything else. But not everybody has to have an electric car. I told him that. So we're going to get rid of that mandate, if you don't mind. Some people want gasoline-propelled cars. Some people want a hybrid. And some people like an electric car. They're great. I think they're great. I think what he's done is great. And I think he understands it. I guess he probably wouldn't have endorsed me. He knows where I am in this. But he did. And it's just like they did these chargers in the Midwest. There are 8 of them. They spent $9 billion to build 8 chargers to charge up a car. And at that rate, it would cost approximately $12 trillion to put the charges around. Somehow that's not working. The country would have to file for Chapter 11. We'll do a chapter, you know, it's called Chapter 7 instead of a Chapter 11, but it's the equivalent. No, we have to use our brain. We have to be, we are the party of common sense, okay? We have to have common sense. But what we do have to do is we have to produce tremendous electric for AI and for all of the other things, including the things that you're doing. And we'll get it produced, and we're going to get it produced fast, or we're not going to be able to compete with China and other countries. So we're going to get it produced fast. This afternoon, I'm laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world, and we'll get it done. If crypto is going to define the future, I want to be mined, minted, and made in the USA. It's going to be. It's not going to be made anywhere else. And if Bitcoin is going to the moon, as we say, it's going to the moon, I want America to be the nation that leads the way. And that's what's going to happen. No, you're going to be very happy with me. You're going to be so happy. You're going to say he's the greatest guy. That's why I'm proud to be the first major party nominee in American history to accept donations in Bitcoin and crypto. And they've made a lot of them, I might tell you, and I appreciate it. Since we made that announcement on May 21st, we have already raised $25 million, much of it in Bitcoin, crypto, and others that are very, very good also. But as you know, our excitement about the future of Bitcoin and crypto could not be more difficult from the approach of our opponents. Can't be, look, our opponents have gone a difficult route. They're going old-fashioned stuff. We're going to take it right down the middle. We are so different from anybody else in terms of a campaign. First of all, we understand it. They don't understand it. They are blocking your path. They're blocking your way. But I've made it a lot easier for you because the SEC has been very, very tough on you. And now they see that you've embraced me. All of a sudden, people that were under investigation, they're being let go. They're saying, oh, no, we don't want to do that. We love crypto. Let me tell you, if they win this election, every one of you will be gone. They will be vicious. They will be ruthless. They will do things that you wouldn't believe. But right now, because of me, they're leaving you alone. So please say thank you, President Trump. Thank you very much. And the reason they're doing that is I've heard from some of your great geniuses that talk to me about this subject. I've heard from Vivek 175 million people in some form are involved with this world of crypto and Bitcoin and all of the others, 175 million. So when they heard that, they said, let's be nice to them at least until after the election. So I've taken a lot of pressure off a lot of people. A lot of people are very happy today that about 3 months ago weren't so thrilled. For 3.5 years, is that right? Look, he just said that's right. And you know it's right. For 3.5 years, the current administration has waged a war on crypto and Bitcoin like nobody's ever seen before. For those who work in this industry, they target your banks, they choke off your financial services. Have people seen that? Yes? Yeah, they have. Plenty of hands up. They block ordinary Americans from transferring money to your exchanges. They slander you as criminals. But that happened to me too, because I said the election was rigged. He said the election was rigged. He should spend the rest of his life in jail for making that statement. Of course, they say it about us, and it's okay, right? No. And by the way, we're doing very well in the election. We lost a candidate recently, crooked Joe Biden. And I thought, we lost this wonderful person. He's actually a terrible human being, if you want to know the truth, so don't feel sorry. And we have another he's a worse human being. And I sort of made an analogy last night. Last night, think of this, I was speaking in front of a very powerful and very strong, very religious group, Christians, evangelicals, Christians. And then today I come in front of Bitcoin, and now I'm going to Minnesota to do a rally. You think my life is so great, don't you, huh? But I cover a lot of territory. I go from religion to Bitcoin to a rally. And I don't get it mixed up like other people do. Where they come out and they say, may God bless everybody involved in the Bitcoin world. But actually we mean that because you need blessing, because you've got to do something very spectacular. But we had an incredible time last night talking to Christians, largely Christians, a Christian group. And this is so great. And then we have a very big rally in Minnesota. Hasn't been one since 1972. Richard Nixon, can you believe it? And I think we're leading Minnesota. But there's some hanky-panky that goes on in Minnesota. But I think we're doing good. So we're going to leave here. We're going to go there for a big rally. But this is such an honor to be with you. Sadly, when we see the attacks on crypto, it's a part of a much larger pattern that's being carried out by the same left-wing fascists who weaponize government against any threat to their power. They've done it to me. Did you see I just won the big case in Florida? Thank you very much. The big case in Florida. Thank you very much. Good. Now it's a big case. That was the document case. I have Presidential Records Act on my side. Biden didn't. By the way, Biden, they said, here's what they said. They said, he's guilty as hell, but we're not going to charge him because he's incompetent. I won the case the old-fashioned way. It's called you win. I wouldn't have wanted to win the way he won. Trump won the case because they called him incompetent. Think of this. So they called him incompetent. So he's incompetent to run for trial, to stand trial, but he's not incompetent to run the country. How does that work? But he's not doing it anymore because he didn't do particularly well in the debate. Did anybody watch the debate? Not too many people. Somebody said to me, you did horribly in the debate. I said, why? He said, because there's no way he can continue forward. That's how bad he was. I said, I understand that, and that's exactly what happened, actually. We had a great debate. It was a tremendous debate, actually, and since then, hey, look, you have to open the eyes. You have to see what's going on. We have a country to run. The problem is that Kamala is worse than Joe. She's worse. She's a radical left lunatic, defund the police, all of the different things. And so far she's got a little honeymoon going on right now, but when people hear about her, and she's against crypto, by the way, and she's against it very big. So I just want to let you know, you got to get out. You got to get out and vote. It should be no surprise that these same totalitarians are hell-bent on crushing crypto and obliterating, and that's what they want to do, and that's what they are stated. Well, I mean, they're there right now. You have the SEC, you know what they're doing, obliterating Bitcoin. The reason could not be more clear, because Bitcoin stands for freedom, sovereignty, and independence from government, coercion, and control. The Biden-Harris administration's repression of crypto and Bitcoin is wrong, and it's very bad for our country. It's really quite un-American. As you know, 6 days ago, we officially defeated the worst president in the history of the United States. I believe he was the worst president in the history of the United States. Think of it. Millions and millions of people have come into our country. They've come in from jails. They've come in from, think of it, insane asylums, mental institutions. They've come in as terrorists. We have the largest number of terrorists coming into our country right now. The same people that you just heard about from Israel, that did that in Israel, they're coming in and nobody checks them. Nobody knows what's going on. We have no idea what's going on. They've lost control of our country, and only bad things can happen. So it's not going to be that way. We're not going to let that happen. We're beating them, and we're beating them badly, and we have to make sure that we do. We need to do it for our country. And you can't just be a fighter and have your man lose the fight, or woman, but in this case, a man. He's losing the fight. He's down by 15, 16, 17 points. They say that you're not going to win, Joe. You got to get out. He didn't want to get out. He said, I'm not getting out. He said, you're getting out. He said, I'm not getting out. I got 14 million votes. I'm not getting out. They said, if you're not getting out, we're going to institute the 25th Amendment on your mental competence. He said, like I said before, I think I'm going to get out. Okay? And they got him out. But it's like, think of this. You fight, you're in a campaign. You spend a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort, and he's losing. And then they say, let's take him out of the fight. We'll put a new fighter in there. The new fighter is her, probably my second choice. He will always be my first choice, but she'd be my second choice. And again, if we don't win this race, and I know you're not that political, but you have to be political because your whole thing, I mean, you have a lot of politics involved in what you do. If we don't win this race, this country could be finished as we know it. This country is going to be in bad shape, and we have to be in there. We have to fight, and we have to win. And I pledge to the Bitcoin community that the day I take the oath of office, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's anti-crypto crusade will be over. It will end. It'll be done. It'll be done. The moment I'm sworn in, the persecution stops and the weaponization ends against your industry. And as long as I'm in the Oval Office, Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, do you remember? Yes, I'm an Indian. She said, I'm an Indian. Why are you an Indian? You don't look like an Indian. No, my mother told me I have high cheekbones. Oh, that's why she was an Indian. So I named her Pocahontas. Elizabeth Warren and her goons, and she's very nasty to you. She hates your people. She hates everything about you. Will keep their hands off Bitcoin. They're going to keep their hands off crypto. They're going to let it grow. We're going to let it grow. On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler and appoint a new SEC chairman. I didn't know he was that unpopular. Well, I didn't know he was that unpopular. Let me say it again. On day one, I will fire Gary Gensler. Whoa. And will appoint a new SEC chairman who believes America should build the future, not block the future, which is what they're doing. And Kamala Harris wants to make him Treasury Secretary. That's not good. That's not good. He was Hillary Clinton's finance person. Did you know that? Crooked Hillary. Remember Crooked Hillary? Do you remember her? Anybody remember? He was the finance chairman of Hillary Clinton's campaign against a gentleman known as Donald Trump. Not a popular person within the... Actually, she came to my wedding. Do you know that? To our great First Lady, Melania. She came to our wedding, and Bill came to our wedding. But it's amazing things when you run for office, a lot of things change in your life. A lot of things change. As president, I will immediately shut down Operation Choke Point 2.0. They want to choke you. They want to choke you out of business. We're not going to let that happen. And no longer will your government sit by and watch as Bitcoin jobs and businesses flee to other countries because America's laws are too unclear and too tough and too angry and too stiff. We will keep each and every Bitcoin job in the United States of America. That's what we're going to be doing. Upon taking office, I will immediately appoint a Bitcoin and crypto presidential advisory council. Would anybody like to be on that particular council? Please raise your hand. Their task will be to design transparent regulatory guidance for the benefit of the entire industry, and they will get it done in 100 days. We will have regulations, but from now on, the rules will be written by people who love your industry, not hate your industry, people that want to make it clear and simple, straightforward and fair, people that want to see your industry thrive, not dive. Next, I will immediately order the Treasury Department and other federal agencies to cease and desist all steps necessary because, you know, there's a thing going on in your industry. They want to move the creation of a central bank digital currency. It's over. Forget it. CBDC. There will never be a CBDC while I'm president of the United States. And I will always defend the right to self-custody. Self-custody. You're going to have a great industry. You're going to have a great industry, and we're going to be fuel for your industry, not demolish your industry. America will once again be a nation that protects property rights, privacy, freedom of transaction, freedom of association, and freedom of speech. We're going to go back to the old days when we were a nation that was building, not a nation that was eating itself alive from within. As part of our effort to provide regulatory clarity, we will create a framework to enable the safe and responsible expansion of stable coins. Do you know what a stable coin is? Does anybody know? Please raise your hand. Allowing us to extend the dominance of the U.S. dollar to new frontiers all around the world. America will be richer, the world will be better, and there will be billions and billions of people brought into crypto economy and storing their savings in Bitcoin. So that's the way it is. That's pretty much the way it is. Those who say that Bitcoin is a threat to the dollar have the story exactly backwards. I believe it is exactly backwards. Bitcoin is not threatening the dollar. The behavior of the current U.S. government is really threatening the dollar. The danger to our financial future does not come from crypto. It comes from Washington, D.C. It comes from trillions of dollars in waste, rampant inflation, and open borders while giving welfare and free health care to all of the illegal aliens that are pouring into our country by the millions and millions and millions. It comes from printing hundreds of billions of dollars to fund endless wars overseas while our cities are like combat zones here at home. 2 weeks ago in Chicago, 117 people were shot and 17 died. Afghanistan doesn't have anything like that. You know, you think about tough places. Look at what's happening with our cities. What's happening in the last 3 years, last 3.5 years. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Think of it. 117 over 4th of July weekend. 117 people were shot and 17 died. This is the United States of America? I don't think so. By the way, when I was president, we had no wars. We had no new wars. We didn't start any. Remember when Hillary said, he'll start wars. Look at his personality. No, I said, my personality will keep us out of wars. But we finished off some of the old ones like ISIS, which they said would take 5 years to do, maybe more. We did it in 4 weeks. We beat ISIS in 4, because we have a great military. And it's not a woke military, by the way. Maybe some of the people on top are woke, but this is not a woke. I got to see that first when I looked at what they did and what they did for me, they were unbelievable. They did things that nobody thought were possible. Our real generals and our soldiers, there's no woke. They're trying to get them to be woke, but these people are not going to go woke, I can guarantee you that. With your support this November, we will restore competence and we will restore common sense to our nation's capital. Because ultimately, it is about, it's not, are you conservative? Are you liberal? Are you progressive? They like progressive. It sounds so nice, right? It'll destroy our country. It's actually become a terrible word. It'll destroy our country. But it's not about that. It's about common sense. We want to bring common sense back in. This is all common sense that we're talking about today. And Bitcoin and crypto will skyrocket like never before, even beyond your expectations, and you are the people that are doing it. As we stop the war on crypto, we will immediately, and we'll do this very quickly, begin to build our economy, because when America is prospering, Bitcoin is soaring, and it'll go up with it. We had the greatest economy ever, and we will soon have it again. Under the Trump administration, the typical middle-class family income rose by $6,000 a year. People don't like mentioning that. America had more money to save than at any time in many decades. As a result, during my 4 years in office, now you have to listen to these numbers. These numbers are like beautiful. And I don't want to repeat myself. Listen to these numbers. As a result, during my 4 years in office, Bitcoin surged by 3,900%, from $898 the day I took office to $35,900 the day I left. That was the biggest jump, I guess, in just about any industry. Think of that. Now compare that to just after 3.5 years of Biden and Harris, adjusted for inflation, Bitcoin is up 50%. Now, 50% sounds good, but not when you're comparing it to almost 4,000%, right? 50%. You know, normally you say, oh, that sounds pretty good. Let's not put that into the speech. No, 50% is not good. When people can't afford groceries or rent, they have no savings to store in Bitcoin. This administration caused the biggest inflation in the history of our country, and that's what's happened. Our people are being wiped out. From the very first day we take back the White House, we will replace the Biden-Harris economic stagnation with a brand new Trump economic boom. You're going to have a tremendous boom. You know, you have a lot of great analysts out there. Scott, I'm talking about you, Scott, one of the greatest of all, and others that say the stock market's going up because they think Trump is going to be elected. And if Trump isn't elected, this country's going to go into a depression the likes of what you had in 1929. And I hope that's not true, but I can understand it, and I can understand what they're saying. The stock market gain, they think, is because it looks like we're going to win the election. And I don't know what's going to happen with the election. You know, they cheat like hell, and I don't know what's going to happen. But if we win it, this country is going to be boomtown. It's going to be booming like it never boomed before. The current administration's economic plan includes trillions in new spending and $5 trillion tax hikes. They want to increase taxes by $5 trillion. They want the expiration of the Trump tax cuts to take place. They want a wealth confiscation tax so that when you make all of your money that you're going to make and all of the people you're going to employ, they want to take away your money in the form of a first-time ever tax and a gigantic capital gains tax that will exceed substantially in many states over 50%. My plan is the opposite. We will lift the workers and we will create savers out of so many people, and we will reward success. We will not punish success. They want to punish success. They want to punish genius. I'm not going to let that happen. I will make the Trump tax cuts permanent and deliver massive tax cuts for families and individuals and businesses that produce jobs. That includes no tax on tips. You know that, right? Going to get rid of the tax on tips. I will cut unnecessary and burdensome regulations, fight every day to make America the best place on earth to build a business, including a crypto business. It's going to be the best place. You're not going to have to go to China. You're not going to have to learn, gee, how do I learn Chinese? I want to learn it very quickly. I have a little granddaughter that speaks fluent Chinese. Can you believe it? And it's a wonderful thing, but it's not easy, but you're not going to have to do it. Most importantly, for our citizens, we will end the inflation nightmare that this administration has created, and we will end it quickly. It's got to end. It's destroying our country. You know, inflation is a country buster. You can go back many, many years to Germany, and you look at what happened to Germany during their huge period of inflation, destroyed the country. It's a country buster. The Bitcoiners, and I say to you that you recognize the dangers of inflation long before most others did. You understood inflation, frankly, better than anybody else. You know that, don't you? If only they had listened. They didn't listen to you. They didn't listen to you. The trillions of dollars in ridiculous waste approved by our opponents resulted in the very inflation disaster that Bitcoiners had always predicted. 20, 30, and even 40% of the value of every dollar was wiped out, and wiped out quickly. You understood that, but a lot of other people didn't. The life savings of millions of Americans was rapidly destroyed. And very simply, uncontrolled inflation is a stealth taxation of the middle class. It really is. It's a stealth taxation. I call it the Biden tax. Now I'll call it the Harris tax, or the Harris-Biden tax, or whatever the hell we're going to call them. But it's a disaster. It's a tax of 50%. It's a 50% tax. Inflation, think of it, it's a 50% tax on people, 5-0. This is a human tragedy, and it's destroyed people. It's a national disgrace. It's destroyed everything in its way. It must never be allowed to happen again, and it won't. When I'm president, I guarantee you it won't happen, because we're going to do things that make sure it doesn't happen. They've allowed pricing to get totally out of control. We're going to do energy, bring it down to levels that people have not seen in many, many years. We had it at levels. We were at $1.87 for a gallon of gasoline. You don't see that right now. For 4 straight years, under my leadership, we had effectively no inflation, none. When I left office, it was 1.4%, and then it stayed there for almost 2 years. Remember when Biden said it was 9%. I inherited 9%. That was just another lie. Misinformation, disinformation. We gave them a hot country. We went through the COVID. We did an incredible job. Never got credit for that. Always got credit for the economy, for the military. We rebuilt the military. We created Space Force. We did so many different things. Never got credit for that. You know what? We gave them a great country with essentially no inflation. And after 2 years, they drove this country, and they drove inflation through the roof. 2 years, cost of living went up, in some cases, by over 50%. And they say 22%. They like to say 22, but it could be much higher, and it is much higher depending on what they include. They don't include things like interest rates that went from 2.5% to 10%, but you can't get the money. When I return to the White House, I will stop the wild and wasteful spending of this administration. I will end the endless wars. They never stop. Again, we had no wars. We had no new wars under your favorite president, President Trump. We had no new We had no new wars. They thought I was going to start a war. Let me tell you something. I'm going to stop World War III because we're closer to World War III than we've ever been since the end of World War II. I will seal the border and stop the invasion of millions of people pouring into our country illegally. We will totally defeat, and we will do this quickly. We will defeat inflation, and together we will bring back the American dream for citizens of every race, religion, color, and creed. We will bring it back, the American dream. You don't even hear the statement American dream anymore. You don't hear those words anymore. We used to talk about the American dream. A lot of you people are in the American dream, but you're going to be crushed if you don't elect me. I hate to tell you. You don't elect me, you're going to be crushed. You're going to say, Alice, what a mistake it was. We went for a person who has no talent. She's been a failure at almost everything she's done instead of Trump. And look at us now. We're going to move into an extremely small house from our beautiful house. But we will end the war on American energy, and we will very simply drill, baby, drill. We're going to drill, baby, drill. We have to. It's what we have. We have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation in the world, more than Saudi Arabia, more than Russia. We don't use it. We don't use it. They use it. We don't use it. We go out and buy oil from Venezuela. It's amazing. But we won't stop there. We will harness American energy in all forms. I have set the ambitious goal that by the end of my term, the United States will be the #1 lowest cost of energy and electricity of any nation on earth. We can make it so inexpensively. Because of what we have under our feet, we can make it so inexpensively. And with low energy costs, America will become the world's undisputed Bitcoin mining powerhouse. You'll be a Bitcoin mining powerhouse. You will not have to move your family to China. You will not be moving to China. As we implement these reforms, Bitcoin and crypto will grow our economy, cement American financial dominance, and strengthen our entire country long into the future. Many Americans do not realize that the United States government is among the largest holders of Bitcoin. Does anyone know that? How about that? The federal government is almost 210,000 Bitcoin, or 1% of the total supply that will ever exist. But for too long, our government has violated the cardinal rule that every Bitcoiner knows by heart. Never sell your Bitcoin, right? That's right, isn't it, huh? That's right. How did I figure that one? Never sell your Bitcoin. And so, as the final part of my plan today, I am announcing that if I am elected, it will be the policy of my administration, United States of America, to keep 100% of all the Bitcoin the U.S. government currently holds or acquires into the future. We'll keep 100%. I hope you do well, please. This will serve in effect as the core of the strategic national Bitcoin stockpile. As you know, most of the Bitcoin currently held by the United States government was obtained through law enforcement action. You know that. They took it from you. Let's take that guy's life. Let's take his family, his house, his Bitcoin. We'll turn it into Bitcoin. It's been taken away from you because that's where we're going now. That's where this country is going. It's a fascist regime. And so as I take steps to transform that vast wealth into a permanent national asset to benefit all Americans, today I repeat my pledge to commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht to a sentence of time served. It's enough. It's enough. That's where we are as a country. Ultimately, my promise to each and every one of you is this: I will be the pro-innovation and pro-Bitcoin president that America needs and our citizens deserve. This will be one industry, but this will be a thriving industry, a great industry, and I'm going to be doing the same thing for every other industry also. Our nation has never thrived by trying to censor new ideas and shut down the dreams of our people. America always plants our flag on the next frontier and pushes boldly ahead. We have to do that. We haven't been doing that for a long time, especially the last 3.5 years. It's gone the exact opposite. Those of you in this room inherit the legacy of generations of American pioneers and patriots, risk-takers and renegades who settled this continent, built the modern world, and lived on the bleeding edge. You live on a bleeding edge. You do know that, Bitcoiners, don't you? You are the modern-day Edisons and Wright brothers and Carnegies and Henry Fords, and what you do in your lifetime stands a chance to outlive us all and inspire humanity for generations to come. This will go down as a very important day in the history of your industry. Together you are building America's future with your own smarts, your own grit, and your own skin in the game. You have a lot of skin in the game, and that's what you're doing. It takes courage to do it. Most people don't have that courage. My job will be to set you free and to let you do what Americans do best and what you're going to do better than anybody. Win, win, win. You're going to win, win, win. With energy, passion, and brilliance like we have rarely seen before, our country cannot fail. We're in a failing nation right now, but we're not going to be for long. Our country cannot fail. With your help, we will save our nation, we will restore our republic, and we will make America and Bitcoin bigger, better, stronger, richer, freer, and greater than ever before. Thank you all. Have a good time with your Bitcoin and your crypto and everything else that you're playing with. And we're going to make that one of the greatest industries on earth. Good luck and God bless you all. Thank you. God
no
bless
special
you. Thank
guest.
you.
What happened? Hey, what happened to the special guest? They told us there was going to be a special guest. There was no special guest. Well, the conference said there was multiple times there was going to be a special guest. So I'm sorry there was no special guest. All I can tell you is what the conference said. They said it multiple times. We were watching the people from the conference right before Trump came out, and they multiple times said there was going to be a special guest. So I apologize. I mean, all I can do is tell you what the conference said. All right, I want to take your comments on the air. Trump talking about Bitcoin. He wants to be how he wants to be pro-Bitcoin as if he wins the presidential election. Talked about some other stuff too besides Bitcoin. I'm going to take a few comments from you guys right now. But again, I do apologize that there was no special guest. It's not my fault. I can only tell you what they're saying. But so the special guest is after Trump. No. That's not what they said. They said there was going to be a special guest with Trump. They were not saying special guest after Trump. They said there was going to be a special guest with Trump. Now, come on now. Now, they could have somebody come out after, but that's what they were saying before. Anyways, hey, let me take some comments from you guys. What do you think of the speech? So I'm going to take just a few comments here from you. We might do, when this ends, I got to kind of look into some other stuff. We may do another stream on the situation with the Golan Heights a little later, but I gotta look into that after this stream. So for now, I just want to take some comments from, let me just take some comments from you guys. What did you guys think? At Lookner on X, hey, quick thanks to Princess Teapot for your support, Noah, Zelda Marie, 4X Education Live, Martin Gingrich, Randall86, Obadiah Stain, and Anglo Blackson, thank you. Sandra Breedlove says, just a speech. A bunch of similar stuff in that speech than other speeches. Danette says, well, there goes our Elon prediction. Some of our viewers thought Elon was going to appear. Real Mill says, I love the speech. It gives great hope. Boomer Wow says, certainly said the things they wanted to hear. Oh, the Ross Ulbricht thing, I didn't really have time to say this before, but when he says free Ross Ulbricht and everybody cheers, just so you know, here's something about Ross Ulbricht. This is the Wikipedia article. Ross Ulbricht is an American serving life imprisonment for creating and operating the dark net market website Silk Road from 2011 until his arrest in 2013. The site operated as a hidden service on the Tor network and facilitated the sale of narcotics and other illegal products and services. In 2013, the FBI arrested Ulbricht and took Silk Road offline. In 2015, he was convicted of engaging in a continuing criminal enterprise, distributing narcotics by means of the internet, conspiracy to distribute narcotics, conspiracy to commit money laundering, conspiracy to traffic fraudulent identity documents, and conspiracy to commit computer hacking. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Ulbricht's appeals to the Second Circuit Appeals Court and the U.S. Supreme Court were unsuccessful. He is incarcerated in Tucson. So I'm not a Ross Ulbricht expert, but I mean, there's a big article on Wikipedia about him, as you can see, if you want to read more about it. It started getting talked about right before Trump came on, and I didn't have time to even I just wanted to give you a basic idea of who we're talking about when he says free Ross. So, again, I'm not an expert on Ross Ulbricht, but just in case, I'm sure some people didn't know who he is. It's not like I'm sure some of you didn't know who the person was at all. So, anyways, hey, thanks to Martin Gingrich claims Ross didn't do the crime. That's what Martin claims. Well, I'm not going to speak on that right now. I'm not going to get into. This is not a Ross Ulbricht stream, so we're not going to get into that in detail. But thank you, Martin, for your support. Let's see here. Princess Teapot says she liked the speech. It encouraged her to educate herself and try to invest a little. McLean, our viewer McLean, thinks the speech was a waste of time and thinks that Trump doesn't understand digital currency. He used the event as a regular campaign rally. That's what McLean 33 thought. Thanks for your support, McLean. Let me read some other comments here from you guys. Let me know what you thought of the speech. Let's see here. But I thought, it was an interesting event with kind of an interesting crowd too. So I thought it was an interesting event to see. Let's see. Let me read a few more comments from you guys. Let me know in the chat or write to me on X. Let me know what you thought of Trump's remarks. Kaiser Wilhelm, our viewer, says, Kaiser Wilhelm says, I thought the guest was supposed to be Elon Musk. Well, they said several times there was going to be a special guest. Not who it was, but there was no special guest. Now, just to be clear, that was not Trump saying that. That was the people at the conference saying it. The people who were talking at the conference. Let's see here. Thanks, Ronald Kane, for the gift memberships. I appreciate that, Ronald. Thank you. Our viewer, Parla Media, thinks Trump was pandering. Some of our viewers liked the speech. Some of our viewers didn't like the speech. Where can you find a video of the speech? Just rewind this video. West East Base says same old speech every time. Saruchin says Trump is brilliant. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what I realized? When I went back to this angle, we haven't updated the headline. Obviously, the headline is messed up. Sorry. Trump ends earlier. Just finished. Trump speaks to Bitcoin conference. How's that? How's that? Just want to have the headline up there. Oops, now I got to do this. I forget Why is it like this now? Why is it not letting me do this? It's not acting right. Everything's acting up. Oh, everything's acting up. Hold on a second here. Just give me 1 second here. Just give me one moment here. Here's the conference there. That's the conference. That's the conference website there. Bitcoin 2024. Sorry. Fix this headline. Enough of this already. There we go. Oops, just finished? No, finished. I'll take a few more comments here on what you guys thought of the speech. Thank you, Wixie, for duck's sake. Hey, that's really kind of you. Thanks for the gift memberships. Wixie for duck's sake. Fweaky Beat says, when is he talking at the Dogecoin conference? Is the conference saying anything about the special guest? I don't know because the feed I was using ended. So I don't have that feed anymore, the Reuters feed. I was using the Reuters feed, which I pay for. But again, just to be clear, the Trump people never promised a special guest. It was people speaking on stage before Trump. People from the conference said several times there was going to be a special guest. Also, just to be clear, because I think some of you were confused by this, when Trump just went out there, he said Israel has just been attacked. And what he was referring to is earlier today, I've been posting about it on my X account, but earlier today there was some rockets that hit the Israel-controlled Golan Heights, killing a number of people. One or more of them hit like a soccer field, and so a number of people died. I think like around 11 people died, and dozens were injured. And Israel is blaming Hezbollah, and Hezbollah is denying it was them. Anyways, that's what it's referring to. I think some of you thought it might have been like a new thing, but it was the thing from earlier. We may do a stream on that later today. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out after this stream. No, the first of 3 times they said there might be a special guest, but twice they said there will be a special guest. Okay. NDN Guide thinks Trump was testing the crowd seeking specific feedback. He thinks he didn't understand the industry and was capitalizing on an opportunity. That's what NDN Guide says. If NDN Guy is a he. Deborah Ed says it felt like a Trump rally. I mean, there were certainly elements of the speech that were similar to other things he says. I talked more about crypto, I think, than he would at a rally. I think he spoke, I believe, well, I have to look it up. I think he might have been scheduled to speak for a half an hour. No, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe an hour. Maybe an hour. I'm looking here. Not a half an hour. Might have been longer. Anyways. Jesse's girl says, I think he did very well. He is a businessman. Was J.D. Vance there? We didn't see him. Chaz Smith says he clearly doesn't understand crypto, but he doesn't have to. Thanks to our member Crazy Yoda, by the way. All right, so hang on 1 second here. Yeah, they have more guests coming on today. They have a whole schedule today. He wasn't the last speaker. What is this? Detra Ed says, I've never heard Trump mention crypto at any rallies. I don't know if he mentions it at all or how many times, because I don't recall. I don't have that kind of memory. But, you know, as I mentioned, the basic idea is there's a number of reports out there that say that Trump in recent months has been trying to reach out to the crypto community and claim that he would regulate and try to get support from the crypto industry by putting it out there that he would like regulate them less than the Biden, a Harris administration would, and that the Biden administration has been doing. And he did say in the speech he would specifically, I think he said the first day in office, he would fire Gary Gensler as the head of the SEC, which people cheered for. Zeppelin mentions how the price changed. Yeah, I mean, it didn't. Look, there was some fluctuations while he was speaking. I don't know why. You know, if you just do this really right here, look. Here, this is from Google, but if you just look like in the last, he started speaking like an hour ago, and then it kind of went down a couple thousand, but then it went back up. So I think it was around 68,400 when he started speaking, and then it went down to 66 something, and now it's up to 67,781. I don't know. Maybe that did have to do with him speaking. I honestly don't know. I'm not going to start playing Bitcoin pricing analyst expert when I am not. So anyways, but overall, I mean, it's not like it's changed, you know, this is between 68,000 and 67,000, 67 here and 68 here. So anyways, dropped a bunch, but then it's gone up a bunch. So, but again, I don't even know why, you know, I don't know if it's something he said or somebody was just, that was somebody's plan to sell when he started speaking, or, you know, whatever. Okay, anyways. Grant thought that was long. A great success thought it was a great move from Trump. You know what's interesting? Just from yesterday, this is interesting. I'm going to show you this. So as I mentioned, I'm going to be trying over the next couple of weeks. I'm hoping to start incorporating paying for, and incorporating some different news sources for you. Maybe some text news sources, for example. So let me just show you a Reuters article that I just spotted here, which is about RFK Jr. Look at this. It says, RFK Jr. questions Trump's recent pro-crypto tone as the two vie for votes. How about this? This is from Reuters. And it says, as you can see here, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. on Friday questioned Republican nominee Donald Trump's recent pro-cryptocurrency stance as the two vie for votes in November's election from crypto holders at the Bitcoin 2024 conference. Trump is set to speak today, which he did at the conference, which is estimated to have about 20,000 attendees. Kennedy was favored by 8% of voters in a recent Reuters poll, which could be significant if he draws voters from Trump or Harris. Kennedy's comments come after Trump recently suggested to Kennedy that he could support Trump's campaign. Kennedy said yesterday, speaking to the conference, Trump has orange hair, but I have an orange heart, Kennedy said in the conference speech, referring to the color of the Bitcoin logo. I hope President Trump's commitment to Bitcoin is more than political expediency. So by that, he is implying that Trump is only committed to Bitcoin because it could help him with the election, basically. This is what Kennedy said yesterday. Kennedy promised that if elected as president, he would direct the U.S. Treasury to purchase enough Bitcoin to build a reserve comparable to U.S. gold reserves. He would also make direct ownership of Bitcoin tax-free. Trump recently slammed Democrats' attempts to regulate the sector and indicated he would like to see expanded Bitcoin mining by U.S. firms, even though in 2021 he called Bitcoin a scam. The Republican Party has increasingly courted crypto holders' votes by promising lighter regulation. Okay, so interesting. Some interesting perspective from Reuters. Interesting perspective from Reuters there. Hey, I have a picture from Reuters of him speaking. Well, I'm not going to worry about that now. Well, maybe I will. Hold on. Let me show you the picture of RFK Jr. speaking yesterday. I'll just pop it up on the screen. Here he is. There is, oops, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Here is RFK Jr. speaking yesterday at the Bitcoin 2024 conference via Reuters. Okay, so again, hopefully next couple weeks I can get you some more content like that. Trying to maybe buy some more content like on the print side, get you some more articles and photos to give you a little more context. So I'm looking into that. Anyways, take a few more comments here. PZ Papa Zulu says this is not RFK's year. Tim King thinks that Trump doesn't care. I'm going to say care. I'll paraphrase Tim. Tim thinks that Trump doesn't care about anything except staying out of prison. So Tim doesn't think Trump really has strong feelings about crypto, it sounds like. GM2 Rob Guns thinks Trump didn't know much about the industry in 2021. He has had 3 years to learn about it. Shard in the Dark thinks Trump will say anything to get elected. 4C Blue thinks Trump will say what it takes to get votes. 4C Blue thinks Trump has no interest in Bitcoin and will do nothing to help Bitcoin once elected. Wow. Just Me says RFK Jr. came out in support of crypto first. All right. Princess Teapot says all politicians do. By the way, let me give a shout to our awesome moderators who are always here in our chats. Ruth Krafasi, and we also have, she is there right now, and our other YouTube moderators who have been there, thank you so much. Over on Twitch, Big Ball of Yarn, Hearsay, I Got That Fire, McBritches, Papa Bear, and Surly Dev, big thanks for moderating. And our Facebook moderators like Paul Anderson and Margaret Riley who've been over there on Facebook. And our Linda Belk and Larry who moderate for us on X as well, thank you. So I think, 1 second here, one moment. Oh, I have one other update for you. I have another Reuters update before we go. Another Reuters update. Let me read you this. I think they might have something about the speech we just heard. The article is Trump courts crypto backers. Harris says she is underdog in presidential race. I'm more interested in what Trump said. Trump addressed a cryptocurrency conference in Nashville. We just saw that, part of a broader Republican effort to court crypto enthusiasts ahead of the November 5th election. He compared the young sector to the steel industry of a century ago and vowed to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world, a far cry from his stance in 2021 when he called Bitcoin a scam. Trump warned that China and other countries would embrace crypto if the U.S. did not, and promised industry-friendly regulations if elected. China currently bans cryptocurrency. He's going to do a rally in Minnesota tonight. Anyways, I just wanted to mention that via Reuters. Our viewer D. says that the argument that China will dominate crypto is so stupid since China bans crypto. We just saw from that article that China bans crypto. Let's see here. Zico Bito says China banned crypto for the common folk. I'm not an expert on China crypto policy, but if you go to Wikipedia and you go to China, you get legality. Financial institutions are not allowed to facilitate Bitcoin transactions. Regulation prohibits financial firms from holding or trading cryptocurrency. In April 2014, People's Bank of China, I think that is, ordered commercial banks and payment companies to close Bitcoin trading accounts in 2 weeks. Cryptocurrency exchanges or trading platforms were effectively banned in 2017. A complete ban on cryptocurrency trading and mining in China was put into effect in September 2021, says Wikipedia. Anyways, but I'm not an expert on I'm not an expert on the policy. I'm just showing you a couple things. GM2 says China allows its use in Macau for the tourist casino business. Anyways, I am not an expert on China crypto policy. So maybe there's some exceptions built in there. No, we're not covering the Trump rally. I don't have footage of it. We might do another stream a little later on the Golan Heights stuff. All right, guys. I think we might be getting close to that time. I think it's our time. All right. So, look, I'm going to get off the air in a minute, and we may have another stream a little later on tonight. And if there's big news, other new big news will also come on the air. So I really appreciate you guys joining us for this live stream. We don't cover every campaign event by Trump or Harris or anyone else, but if there's a particularly interesting one, and I have footage, I try to cover it. So I thought this was an interesting venue, him speaking to the biggest Bitcoin conference in the world. So glad we were able to bring this to you today. This is Agenda Free TV. We cover all kinds of live breaking news without an agenda. So subscribe, follow Agenda Free TV. And a huge thanks to our mods. I just thanked the mods a couple minutes ago. So thank you so much to our moderators. I really appreciate it. And thanks to all of you for joining the stream and for letting me read your comments on the air and writing in. And also a big thanks to everybody who donated. That's so nice of you. You guys are the ones who keep this channel on the air. So thank you so much. Oh, thanks to our member Zeppelin, by the way. I forgot to thank Zeppelin. I think I got everybody. But if you ever want to do, Big Ball of Yarn. Thanks for the bits, Big Ball of Yarn. If you ever want to donate to the channel, you can go to agendafree.tv, agendafree.tv. But subscribe, follow the channel, turn on notifications. We have our own notification system, so you don't miss a stream. I never know when big news is going to happen. So sign up to our free notifications. It works great. It sends you a notification whenever we're going live, right before we go live. We do the system is through Discord. The mods will post the link to the notifications in the chat now. And you can find the link to the notifications also in our YouTube and Facebook description for this broadcast. But sign up to our free notification system. It works awesome, and it's really reliable. At the same link, you can check out our Discord chat, where you can, for free, chat with other viewers when we're not on the air. So check out the Discord chat. Big thanks to our Discord mods. I will post news updates on my X account when we're not on the air. That is at Lookner on X. So you can follow me over there for breaking news, at Lookner on X. And I will post the link in the chat if you want to check that out. And also, I would suggest you follow Agenda Free TV on X. I will post when we're going on the air and other programming updates I post on Agenda Free TV on X. And if anybody's interested in being a volunteer moderator, that would be fantastic. You can ask the moderators for more information about that. A quick reminder: if you watch us on YouTube and you want to turn on the YouTube notifications, you need to click the subscription bell and choose all notifications. If you're a YouTube viewer, make sure you do that to get the YouTube notifications. And one other quick reminder, I do have a personal channel on YouTube and Twitch, Lookner on YouTube and Looknerd on Twitch with a D, where I do some non-news live streaming when it's not as busy with the news. It's been very busy with news lately, but I also do some non-news live streaming over there on Lookner and Looknerd. Hey, I want to give a shout out to our Twitch subscribers. Thanks for your support of the channel. People like our Agrajog TV, Gina Pina, and Army Vet, Big Ball of Yarn, T3NF Old 8. Thank you for subscribing. Shaggy, Wall Street, all of our other Twitch subscribers, Wooflar, Farquad, thank you. Big Ball of Yarn, thank you. All of our Facebook subscribers, too. Huge thanks for your support. Margaret Riley, Diane Allworth, Eve Richards, Lou Green, Robert Rial II, Michael Clayton. Big thanks to all of our subscribers. Any of the others I might be missing, too. Thank you for subscribing on Facebook. And all of our YouTube members, huge thanks to you for supporting the channel. Cruella, Connor Murphy, Jen Dat, Mark Playton, PZ Papazulu, Callie Voltaire, Berry, The Lucky Minute, Carol O'Neill, Cruella, Bart Madness, GM2 Rob Guns, Ronald Kane, Donna Smith, A Little Bits, Back Garden Astronomy, Berry, Stephen Morgan, Spectral On White, Paula Faust, Stanley, Turn It Off, Jesse's Girl, Jarrett Nash, Charles Beats, GM2 Rob Guns, sorry if I'm repeating any of these, Devastator, Ali C, Anna, thanks for being members, The Lucky Minute, great success. Thank you, YouTube members, Lexa Fulmer, Jay Sands, Pippi Longstocking, Jeff Cook Slug, Jessica SL, Mal's Bixie, Apex Strategist. Thank you to all of our YouTube members, Chris N, Future, Not My President, and all of our other members, KC Veteran, and all of our viewers. Lex is not a viewer, but Lex is not a member, but Lex Zelansky is a viewer. Thank you for watching. And thank you to everybody for watching. Artist Caverlin, Chris McVeigh over on Facebook. Thanks, everybody. Audrey Burbank, Paula Thompson, Ken Arrington, and Marco on Twitch, Billy Joe on Twitch, all of our other Twitch viewers too. Lester 420. All right, guys, so I'm wrapping up this live stream, but maybe a live stream a little later on, I got to figure it out. Thank you for joining us. You've been watching our live coverage of Trump speaking to the Bitcoin 2024 conference. Oh, and I should have mentioned this before. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a stream on the Venezuela election, the big election tomorrow in Venezuela. I think I'm going to do a stream on that. I'm not 100% sure, but I think I'm going to do it. So I might see you tomorrow for the Venezuela election stream. That would be like in the late afternoon. Okay? So anyways, all right, guys, that is it for now. And again, thanks to all of our moderators. Once again, really appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Oh, Cynthia Moon was moderating too. Ruth Krafosky and Cynthia Moon. Big Ball of Yarn, Hearsay. I Got That Fire, McBritches. Papa Bear, Surly Dev, Linda Belk, Larry, Margaret Riley, Paul Anderson, and all of our other moderators. Big thanks. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon with more live breaking news coverage right here at Agenda Free TV.